Alrighty, welcome back everybody to our latest live stream. Hope everybody's having a good morning or afternoon so far. We're going to get right into that severe weather though that's ongoing. Again, if you're just tuning in for the first time, if you're rewatching this live stream, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below. Make sure to like the video if you're new here. Let's get right into it. So we do have some severe weather ongoing as of right now. Our first of many severe, or really we have 15 severe thunderstorm warnings right now. But this is just one of them. This is currently going towards Stamford. This is our most severe storm at this time, just newly developed by the way. It is currently producing that potential for damaging winds upwards of 70 miles per hour and as well as some golf ball sized hail. And again, this is a newly developed storm, so it's pretty new at this point. Let's go to the velocities. I'll give you a look at what we're looking at in terms of winds as of right now. I'm not seeing any bright colors at this point that would represent any sort of really high winds, but as of now, it is warned for 70 mile per hour winds. It is radar indicated, so it might be a little bit higher than that, but we're definitely seeing that potential for maybe some golf ball sized hail. You can see the little black area there. That's representing some pretty large hailstones currently near 23. And again, this storm is currently moving off to the east as of right now, and it'll continue to track off that direction, going toward Interstate 87 over the next couple of hours. We also have several other severe thunderstorm warnings ongoing as of right now. These are all across eastern New York, about to enter into Vermont. This is one cell I've been watching for a while. It's really been fairly discreet at this point. It's had some broad rotation at times. As of right now, it's not really rotating that much, but this will definitely be a storm to watch pretty closely as it moves off to the east. As of right now, it just moved through Argyle, and it's producing actually fairly large hailstones. It is warned for quarter-sized hail, but I do think it's a little bit higher than that. I honestly think it's probably closer to golf ball-sized hail as well. But that storm's also moving off to the east-northeast, going toward 22, and as well as 30. It'll eventually enter into Vermont within the next 10 minutes or so, and again, posing a threat for some fairly large hail, and not just that, but also some damaging wind gusts as that tracks off to the east-northeast. We have another storm behind that one as well. That's closer to Corinth. It's going in that direction. This one's primarily just going to be a damaging wind event as it moves off to the east-northeast. It will be going toward Glen Falls, which just saw that one storm off to the east of now Argyle. But this is the next storm that you'll see. This one's primarily going to be producing some damaging winds, maybe around 60 miles per hour. And I'll be moving off to the east-northeast. We also have another cell back up this direction. This is basically a small line of storms right here that extends down closer to Interstate 87, all the way back up toward Brandon. This area is primarily, again, going to be damaging winds maybe around 60 miles per hour. That is all tracking off right now to the east-northeast. We also have another severe thunderstorm warning in upstate New York. This is going toward Malone and Bushton. This is currently coming out of Canada. This might produce some damaging wind gusts around 60 miles per hour, maybe even a little bit of quarter-sized hail. That storm, again, is just entering into the United States now. We do have a new severe thunderstorm warning that just got issued. This is closer to areas near Sydney and Walton and Afton. Those areas near Interstate 88 now. Just a newly developed storm that is producing some potential for damaging winds upwards of 60 miles per hour, and as well as that nickel-sized hail threat. That'll be moving off to the east, going towards areas like Walton and Franklin. Sydney, again, is going to be in the track of that within the next couple of minutes. Afton, most likely going to start to see those impacts within the next couple of minutes as well. Again, all of that tracking off to the east. We have a whole nother area of storms back down here to the south. Let me go and see if we can find a radar site here. But these storms are all moving currently off to the east-southeast. They're moving a little bit in a different direction in comparison to the storms up in areas like the northeast, over closer to areas like New York and as well as Vermont. But these storms currently are moving off to the east as of right now. These are all producing threats as high as golf ball sized hail, as well as the potential for damaging winds upwards of 60 miles per hour. As of right now, this is just one of our little areas of storms right now. This is going towards Cumberland right now, and Kaiser, Oakland, and Bayard. Those areas are all potentially seeing that threat for damaging winds up to 60 miles per hour over the next several minutes. And again, this storm over here near Kingwood produced hail as large as golf ball size. Now, the latest warnings have dropped that down to $half or quarter-sized hail as that moves down to the east-southeast. And again, that is over currently in areas in West Virginia. And that'll be moving eventually into potentially far northern Virginia here pretty soon. We do have another cell as well back out to the northeast of that. This is currently near Mercersburg. That's moving off to the east, going toward Greencastle. This is producing the potential for damaging winds as well, upwards of 60 miles per hour. And this warning expires at 3:15 Eastern time. So that will again be moving off to the east towards Wangsboro as well, near Interstate 81. So those are the main cells we got as of right now. We got several severe thunderstorm watches, as I mentioned before, ongoing. This is the first. This is one of them. This is currently over in West Virginia and Virginia, as well as Baltimore. So the Maryland area is also included for the potential for damaging winds upwards of 70 miles per hour, as well as that quarter-sized hail threat. Again, I can't rule out hail as high as golf ball size, though, during the afternoon and evening hours. There's also another watch ongoing for Pennsylvania. This includes southern and eastern portions of Pennsylvania until 7 o'clock tonight. This is for damaging winds up to 70 miles per hour. And also our other watch that is currently ongoing for New York, and as well well as Vermont, this is until 7 o'clock tonight for quarter-sized, maybe half-dollar sized hail. Again, I can't rule out higher stone-sized hails, as well as potential for damaging winds upwards of 70 miles per hour. So those are the warnings that we got ongoing as of right now. Across the area. Again, this is our most potent storm as of right now that is currently producing, again, damaging winds upwards of 70 miles per hour, and as well as potentially some golf ball sized hail. And we'll be watching all the cells very closely. Again, the tornado threat does exist today. It is low. It's not zero though, so we'll have to watch that potential for maybe a tornado or two, especially over the next few hours. I mean, the tornado threat's really going to be peaking. We're between about 3 to 6 o'clock tonight. That's when the low level jet will be the strongest during the afternoon hours today. And that's what we're looking at right now. If you have any questions, feel free to let me know in chat. We are up to now 18 warnings, I believe. So I'm going to go and increase that. So we're now up to 17 total severe thunderstorm warnings. There's a lot of severe weather already ongoing. Also, if you're just tuning in, I would appreciate if you hit the like button. All right, let's get to some questions. Hey, Devin, how you doing? As well as David, Pro Gamer. Welcome, guys. Welcome back. Hope you guys are doing well. How you doing, Random? Welcome. 1920s. Hope you're doing well. Welcome back. North Carolina, you're not going to see anything in terms of severe weather today. This is all currently in the northeast for the most part. All the severe weather is going to be really, actually, it's kind of interesting. The severe threat today extends all the way up from Maine down towards Arkansas. Here's a look at the severe weather threat for today, and extends all the way down into Arkansas now. That's the marginal risk. So it's actually a pretty large risk today overall. And again, it's primarily going to be occurring in the northeast. We also have that enhanced risk of severe weather. If you haven't watched our latest forecast, that includes Baltimore, Allentown, Philadelphia. These areas are all included in an enhanced risk of severe weather, so we'll have to watch those areas pretty closely as well. This storm, by the way, again, I've mentioned it a few times. This storm's had a little bit of rotation here and there. This storm probably has the best chance of producing any sort of tornado threat within the near future, because again, it's very discreet. It's pretty similar to what we were watching last night in terms of a cell. It was very discreet out in front of that line of storms. This definitely has a possibility of maybe developing to something pretty soon. And again, it says quarter-sized hail. I do think it's a little bit larger than that. I'm thinking it's probably closer to golf ball sized hail right now with this cell. Hey Mo, how you doing? Welcome back. Or Mao, excuse me. You're not late. There you go. Hey Andy, how you doing? Welcome back. If you're in northeastern Colorado, there's a marginal risk of severe weather today as well, out that direction. Canada's getting some storms too. I actually can see the storms from Montreal, but that area overall is just mainly seeing some gusty, maybe some, well, really gusty winds, maybe damaging winds up to 60 miles per hour. If there are any tornado warnings up in Canada, we actually might be able to cover them a little bit, but probably not by much. I'm doing good, Devin. Thanks for asking. Yeah, anywhere in the Appalachian Mountains are kind of not really included in the threat. They're kind of close to it. If you do see any storms, though, you might just see damaging winds up to 60 miles per hour. I mean, the severe weather threat kind of extends all the way. Again, it extends all the way down to Arkansas. Anywhere in western Virginia, anywhere in the eastern West Virginia area as well, could see the potential for severe weather today. I appreciate that, Shark. Appreciate it. We do have a new severe thunderstorm warning that does now include areas in Corinth, Argyle, Glens Falls. This is potential for damaging winds up to 60 miles per hour, as well as quarter-sized hail. Again, that's going to include basically the same track as where this other storm's going. This one will stay slightly further to the north, though. But again, that'll be going towards Glens Falls as well as Corinth in the next couple of minutes. Argyle possibly as well for Ann and Granville. So those areas all on the track of that storm. Again, this has been the cell that I've been watching for a while. This one's been pretty defined at this point in terms of its little hook that's trying to develop right now. Overall, downburst winds are the main threat, but there is definitely a hail core there, possibly up to golf ball size. Tennessee could see some storms later today, but overall severe weather threat is low. Hey Kyler, how you doing? Welcome back. Is Minnesota going to see any severe weather today? If you're in eastern Minnesota, maybe some isolated damaging winds and large hail. But other than that, pretty low end risk today. It's pretty low. The all those storms, by the way, over Minnesota and Wisconsin will be moving down to the southeast today. Hey dog, how you doing? Welcome back. Is Western Massachusetts in the line of storms? You're not really in this initial area of storms. There's another area of storms back out here to the west. This will move towards Massachusetts, most likely. But it will likely go towards western Massachusetts. The marginal threat of severe weather does extend through a decent portion of New England. Not the entire area, like the Cape Cod area is not included, but the severe weather could reach, again, as far maybe east as maybe Boston, and that might even be a little bit far. Worcester maybe also could possibly see that closer to that area as well. Gardner, Springfield, North Adams even. North Adams probably going to have the better chance. Again, anywhere back out to the west is going to have the better shot in western Massachusetts. We do have a new severe thunderstorm warning that just got issued. This is a part of the storm that we've been watching for a while. This is a new warning that just got introduced to Vermont. This is for the potential for damaging winds up to 60 miles per hour, and as well as quarter-sized hail. This storm, again, moving off to the east-northeast. This does include Danby, as well as Mount Holly, Mount Tabor, as well as Wallingford, Mount Holly. Okay, the same thing is basically repeating here. Wells, Andover, as well as Plymouth, East Wallingford, as well as North Paulette, Belmont, all those areas included, Russellville as well, all included in this new severe thunderstorm warning. Again, damaging winds up to 60 miles per hour, as well as quarter-sized hail possible. And again, this has probably been the most potent storm for a while, and again, it's discrete, so we have a little bit more of a possibility of this having some rotation at some point in the near future. Is there a new watch possible? All right, so we do have a new mesocyclone discussion or mesoscale discussion that just got introduced. That does include, let's see if it will pop up on here, but a new little area got included. So we have now a possibility that a new watch will be issued, most likely. That would include anywhere out this direction. So that would likely include areas like New Hampshire, as well as western and central Massachusetts. So anywhere basically west, most likely, of Boston and north of Boston may get into a new severe thunderstorm watch. Main threat will be damaging winds and hail, and a very isolated tornado, definitely not out of the question. So that's what we're looking at as of right now, with the new watch that'll likely be issued at some point soon. Our new outlook, by the way, our new Storm Prediction Center outlook gets issued in about an hour and 15 minutes, which probably won't be too big of a deal because, you know, most of the severe weather is going to happen between now and about 6 to 7 o'clock, but that's what we're looking at as of right now. Yes, there's a small area that's in an enhanced risk of severe weather now. How bad is Arkansas? Mainly just damaging winds. I don't expect much beyond that today. Does it stretch into Canada? Part of Canada. I'm not entirely sure, though, because, again, Storm Prediction Center doesn't include that, but it does go, I know, into at least areas like east of Montreal, I think. So just east of there. Has a low-end threat. Hey, Shane, how you doing? As well, Scorpion, welcome back, guys. How you guys all doing today? Hey, Mud Duck, how you doing? Welcome back. Hey, yeah, if you're just tuning in, I would appreciate if you hit the like button. I would really appreciate it. All right, let's go back over to the velocities. Let me take a look if we have anything. Again, very strong downburst winds. The storm hasn't really had rotation. It looks like it has a little bit of an inflow, but overall, the winds have been very strong with this in terms of, you know, what we're looking at in severe weather in that storm. The storm back down here was the one that was producing damaging winds up to 70 and as well as golf ball sized hail. I don't think it's really producing those threats anymore, though. It seems like it's weakened out a little bit. It's going towards Stamford right now. But overall, let me take a look if we have any new updates on this warning. And we actually don't. So it's still golf ball sized hail, damaging winds up to 70 on that cell as of right now. We got more cells developing back down here to the south as well. Mostly quarter-sized hail, damaging winds around 60 miles per hour, excuse me. That's currently in southern Pennsylvania, so we'll keep a close eye on that. We also have one near Charleston that has just recently developed. That is just to the northwest of Charleston near Crown City. This is producing the potential for damaging winds up to 60 miles per hour, and as well as the potential for maybe some quarter-sized hail. And this storm's also right now moving off to the east. And the Charleston radar site is actually down, so we can't even look at that radar site. I don't know if we will be able to look really anything down here. Let's take a look. Let's go to this one down here. See if we can get an eye on this storm. This storm is currently moving toward Alanor. If I'm saying the name right, probably not saying the name right, but it's going toward Buffalo as well. A little cluster of storms even near Leon right now as well. So we got some storms currently developing in this area. A little area of storms that might turn into a bit more of a broken line. Overall, severe weather with that will be remaining pretty isolated. But this will be entering again into areas in West Virginia. Charleston, definitely be on alert for that storm as it moves off to the east. And let's go back up here to the north real quick. Take a look at what warnings we have now. We have a tornado warning, but I don't think it's in the United States. And it is not. Oh, it isn't. We actually have a tornado warning down in Florida. Let's take a look at it. We have a tornado warning currently down in Florida right now. This is kind of out of nowhere. This has nothing to do with the other severe weather we have ongoing right now. This is a tornado warning down in Florida, which the rotation is actually there. So brand new news here. Tornado warning currently in the Florida Panhandle. I didn't even realize that. I was looking at warnings on my phone and that all of a sudden popped up. So we have now a tornado warning. If you're just tuning in, a tornado warning again for areas in Florida. So make sure you're seeking shelter immediately. This is over in, I don't know where it is. It's kind of like south of Alfred right now. This is like north of Panama City. Might be a bit of a rural area. This is near 231. We have some rotation there. So make sure you're seeking shelter immediately, again, away from windows. Again, this is going off to the north. So we have a brand new tornado warning. Again, this is moving currently to the north. And area of rotation currently embedded in this little area here. And this is all to do, by the way, with this tropical system that's trying to develop in the Gulf right now. So a little area trying to develop right now with some rotation. Again, currently moving off to the north. And as of right now, the rotation is right here. We could definitely see a brief tornado, or we may have already seen one. But this right now is moving off to the north. As of right now, the tornado warning expires at 3 o'clock Eastern time. So it's going to be a brief 14-minute tornado warning, basically. But again, that's moving off to the north as of right now. And this is just to the south of Alfred and right along 231. Florida of all places. Yeah, really. I'm kind of shocked. I was kind of surprised by this. Kind of came out of nowhere, to be honest. We do have currently 22 warnings, I believe. Let me take a look real quick. Actually, have a little bit less than that. 3, 4. We got about 18 total warnings right now. Let me drop that count down a little bit. All right, there we go. So we're at 18 warnings as of right now. And brand new tornado warning that just got issued over in Florida. South of Alfred, moving off to the north. Definitely a kind of out of nowhere surprise here. Again, this is all to do with that little tropical system off the coast. Again, the area of rotation right now is just east of 231. It's currently moving off to the north right now. And again, make sure you seek shelter immediately if you're anywhere in the track of this. I know it's a pretty rural area, I believe, but this is moving off to the north, right along 231, going toward Alfred. We'll go ahead and see if we have any camera views on this at all. There might have been a funnel cloud with this or something like that. Take a look. And as of right now, I don't see anything, at least on the warning, that indicates anything. Let's see if we have any live cams on this storm. If I get any views on it. Again, this is a tornado warning that got issued in the Florida Panhandle. And I think we actually do have a little bit of something on this. You have a little bit of a view, maybe. Let's take a look. And unfortunately, we don't really have the best view on that one. This is just south of Alfred. There is a little radar site down here to the south of the storm, but we won't be able to see anything from there, unfortunately. Try to see if we have any other better views on this, though. Doesn't look like we do. Yeah, as of right now, we don't have any views on this storm, but it's definitely going to be something to watch. Again, moving off to north, and again, we might have a low-end tornado threat in the Florida Panhandle today. It's definitely not out of the question here. But as of right now, again, rotation's right here. There was a little bit more rotation a second ago, slightly weaker now, but we definitely could see a tornado with this. And again, Florida tornadoes are a little bit different in terms of this time of the year, especially. These tornadoes can be pretty quick, and they can really develop and only last a minute or two, and they can actually cause some decent damage in that little time frame that they do last. So definitely something to watch very closely. Again, this is currently moving off to the north. Alfred next in track. Interstate 10 will be in the track later on. And we've already had a report of a 40-mile-per-hour wind gust down here to the south northeast of Panama City. And that was from earlier. That was actually probably from the same cell, I'm assuming. It's currently moving off to the north. Watch this pretty closely. Again, make sure you seek shelter immediately away from windows. Let's go back to the velocities. And again, area of rotation currently is right here. Not that defined right now, but it is definitely there. There's definitely some rotation still remaining. And if you go a little bit higher up, you can see there's a little bit more of those reds and greens kind of showing up. Again, if they're tight enough, they can definitely represent a tornado on radar, but this could even last just a couple of minutes. It is going to be rain wrapped for sure. It's kind of in a little bit of an embedded area there. You can see the rain kind of wrapped around it here. And that was a horrible line, but basically all the rain right now is wrapped around this one area. You can see all the yellows and as well as the reds. That's indicating at least some sort of rain wrapped rotation right now within this cell. So that's kind of what we're looking at as of right now. Again, this is moving off to the north. Again, in Florida, as of right now. This is just to the south of Alfred. There's a tornado on the north side of the storm. Actually, the actual storm, it's kind of weird, but this is the actual part of the storm right here. This is the main part, and then this right here is the actual where the tornado is. It's not really on the north part. It's kind of actually on the east part almost, which is, this is pretty typical. When we have storms going to the northeast like this, especially tropical storms, it's not a tropical storm, but tropical stuff like this, they usually typically move off to the northeast, and we will see tornadoes embedded in this sort of area here. It's definitely, it's actually pretty common when we have these little low pressure systems, especially with this one just sitting off the Gulf of Mexico right now. So yeah, that's what we're looking at. I don't think it's an invest. I'm pretty sure it's just a regular, it's just right now a low pressure system. It's currently in development stages, unless they named it invest today that I didn't see. Yeah, it's not an invest yet, and I don't know if it will become an invest, but can't rule it out. As of right now, yeah, it's not an invest. They actually lowered the percent chance of this developing down to 20%. It was originally 30% over the next 5 days, which honestly, again, it doesn't mean much. If you guys are anywhere along the Gulf Coast, make sure to watch my latest video, because again, there's going to be a good chance that we see several inches of rain. I'm talking possibly as much as a foot of rain across the Gulf Coast. Some areas might see as high as 15 inches over the next few days. So there is going to be a lot of rain without a doubt over the next several days. Definitely something to monitor very closely for those that are, again, over on the Gulf Coast. Hey, James, how you doing? Welcome back. Thanks, THS. Yeah, this is a 14-minute tornado warning, basically. I mean, it's not a long-lasting one. A lot of the time with these tropical ones, they are brief, and you know, they're not long-lasting tornado warnings by any means, because these aren't going to be long-term threats in most cases, especially with this sort of tropical area that we have developing right now. But let's go back to the velocities and take a look if we have anything left here. That's not going to give us a view. There we go. And the rotation is still basically sitting here. It looks to be somewhat more broad than before. But if we go back over to the radar right now, you can see it's kind of embedded right there, just east of 231 right now. So, yeah, it's kind of what we're looking at as right now. It's really embedded there. I definitely can't rely on we get a new tornado warning, but I think the rotation's broadened out a little bit. It's good news. Stormatic, I will take a look, and I'm not entirely sure, though. I don't think we've had any confirmation on that yet. Don't think we have, but I'll keep you updated if we have any information. Yeah, the rotation was much stronger, just as I kind of said before a few minutes ago. There's actually 2 areas of rotation. Let me see if I can go further back on this tornado warning here for a second. There was actually 2 areas of rotation. It wasn't 1, it was actually 2. Before this warning even got issued, by the way. So this is kind of a look at from before. We're going to go back here a few minutes. See how far back we can. Yeah, so here's how far back we can go here. This was before the tornado warning got issued. There was 1 area of rotation here. That's east of 231. Another one right here near 20. This is the one that's still ongoing. But there was actually 2 areas of rotation with this one little cell here. And over the next couple of scans, you can kind of see, again, this one started to fizzle out a little bit. This one started to strengthen more. Definitely more of the combining of green and red colors, which again means a tighter rotation. And as I moved off to the north again, it got tornado warned right there. And now it's starting to fizzle out a little bit, which again is good news. But overall, it still has a little bit of rotation. Definitely can't rule out it still has maybe something there, but watch the next scan, see if we get anything on this next scan. But definitely interesting storm overall. This is currently in Florida. It's actually kind of interesting. We were primarily covering the northeast, but this is a tornado warning down over right now in Florida. Once this gets once it gets lifted, we'll go back up to the northeast, but definitely kind of came out of nowhere for most of those that are over in Florida. Again, this is south of Alfred. This is west of Tallahassee for reference. This is currently northeast of Panama City where this tornado warning is. Is there anything for Louisville to Kentucky? There's a low threat for severe weather today. Low threats. Damaging winds being the main threat. I'm going to see if we have anything on that possible tornado yesterday. As of now, I'm not seeing anything. Okay, there was actually a confirmed tornado from yesterday. So, Fenton, Michigan. There was confirmed a weak tornado yesterday. And we were live for that. So there was actually a confirmed weak tornado. I don't think I can show this picture, but I'm going to upload it to our Discord server. So if you join our Discord server, you'll be able to see it. There was a confirmed tornado, though, in Fenton, Michigan yesterday. That was actually, and that was last night when we were live. So there was actually a confirmed tornado. Okay, so it's in the announcements page, but there was actually damage from this weak tornado. Again, there was one reported in Fenton, Michigan, which was the second, I believe, tornado warning that we had last night. There was only 2, and that was, I believe, the second one. But yeah, there's some pretty significant, there wasn't significant damage, but there's a little bit of damage there, a lot of trees down and whatnot. Yeah, that was part of the second area, so that was south of Flint. So yeah, we were live for that. There was a confirmed tornado. EF0? I think so. It probably was EF0 or EF1, one of the two. Looked to be more of an EF0, though. Latest scan still showing a little bit of rotation. We will see if there's a new tornado warning here, but other than that, might be let to expire here. We'll see. This is the ongoing tornado warning right now in Florida, south of Alfred. Tornado warning. Okay, it's canceled. Okay, thank you. All right, we're going to go back up to the north. Let me change over my stuff here. Let's go back all the way to New England. See what we have in our latest updates. There is dozens of severe thunderstorm warnings right now up here in the north. Change this over to this. we go. So this is the ongoing severe weather that we got going as of right now. Let me take a look how many warnings we got, because I have to update my warning count here. But we do have a lot of severe thunderstorm warnings still ongoing. And again, a low-end tornado threat will exist up here in the northeast during the afternoon and as well as the early evening hours. But as of right now, we currently have a whopping 20 warnings. So we still have a lot of severe thunderstorm warnings right now across the area. And again, we're going to see that potential for severe weather during the really this entire afternoon into the early evening hours, again across anywhere in the northeast. This is a cell that has been producing pretty large hail here for a while, possibly quarter to half dollar size. This is near 30 right now. It is heading off to the east northeast towards 7. This is north of Manchester Center, and this is again a potential for damaging winds up to 60 miles per hour, and as well as quarter sized hail. And again, that's moving off to the east northeast as of right now. There's a cell behind that that's closer to Interstate 87 that is going right in the path of where the storm was before, by the way. This is also producing the potential for damaging winds upwards of 60 miles per hour and as well as quarter-sized hail. Fort Edward and Argyle and Glens Falls are all in the track of that. And here's the hail core as of right now. Again, that's where your possible large hail is right now, possibly quarter-sized. And again, that's moving off to the east-northeast as of right now. Got a couple other cells back out to the north. One currently near Rutland. This is producing that potential as well for some large hail. And that storm is definitely going to be something to watch pretty closely. That is near 7, and that will be moving off to the east, towards 100. And that could produce, again, potential for maybe some quarter-sized hail. As of right now, it's only warned for penny-sized hail, but definitely can't rule out it's a little bit larger than that. By the way, the warning that was producing damaging winds around 70, as well as that golf ball-sized hail threat, this storm here, no longer warned, but there definitely could maybe be a little bit of gusty winds left with that storm as of right now. But other than that, the threats have kind of diminished there. Again, we got plenty of warnings ongoing down here to the south. We already have damage coming in from the storms that went through West Virginia, tree down in Knottsville Road, and there's also reports of trees down throughout the county, including bottom of the crossing Route 7 near the Cheat River. So there was already some reports again of some damage over in West Virginia, and that's definitely not going to be the end of the damage that we see today. There's going to be a lot of severe weather from where that came from during the afternoon today and as well as the evening hours. So that's what we got for warnings as of right now. Again, watches extending all the way throughout New Hampshire, or actually only through Vermont right now. We're going to get a new severe thunderstorm watch here pretty soon though for western Massachusetts, eastern New York, as well as possibly New Hampshire, and as well as the southern portion of Vermont. Most likely here pretty soon. So stay tuned. We'll keep you updated with that. We will likely get a new severe thunderstorm watch here pretty soon. And again, if you're just tuning in for the first time, I would appreciate it again if you hit the like button down below. And again, if you have any questions, feel free to leave those in the chat. They issued a severe thunderstorm watch for Baltimore an hour ago. Yeah, there is a severe thunderstorm watch ongoing down there as well, as far south as Virginia, actually. So it's a pretty large risk today. Yeah, no baseball-sized hail today. We're not talking about massive hailstorms, but we're definitely talking still golf ball-sized hail potential, or maybe even a little bit larger than that. I can't rely it gets up to hen egg size, but I think the main threat today will be most likely be the damaging wind component as of right now. I'm doing a recount on the warnings. We got 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We got about 12 in the United States. Let me update this. Yeah, there we go. Thanks, THS. Appreciate it. Could the watch be added into Connecticut? I don't think it will. Maybe Western Connecticut, but I don't think it will get added to much of Connecticut today. I think that overall threat in Connecticut's gonna be pretty low. Is there a risk for a tornado with this storm? There is. There's actually a low-end chance for a tornado. That really extends all the way from northern Maine all the way throughout New York and whatnot. It's primarily going to be in this area here today. So, I mean, that would include New Hampshire as well. So we will have to watch that. Again, there's a bit more, there's a, not strong low-level jet, but it's moderate. So we definitely could see maybe a tornado or two. And we'll definitely have to watch that threat today. Again, it's a positively tilted trough, so there is some differences there in terms of severe weather. But overall, it's a little bit less than what you would typically expect because, again, it's a positively tilted trough. If we had a negatively tilted trough, we're talking possible tornado outbreak, but we're not in that situation today. But it is a low threat as of right now. As of right now, though, no tornado warnings or anything like that. We'll keep you updated, though, if we get any. And this has been the cell that we've been watching for a while that has had some rotation at times. Again, that's near Manchester Center right now. So we will have to watch the storm pretty closely. But overall, primarily strong downburst winds. And again, that's probably larger than quarter-sized hail. Let's go over to the hail radar right now. Just to give you an idea of what we're looking at in this cell in terms of hailstone sizes. And latest scans, this is from before the latest increase in hailstones. It has been as high as quarter to maybe half dollar size. So that was from, again, that was probably at least 10 minutes ago, though. So we're possibly a little bit higher than that now. in terms of the hailstone sizes. Again, this is kind of the hail track. I went through Argyle, produced some pretty large hail. Looks like probably quarter, maybe even up to $half size. Looks like 1.2 inches possibly there. There's been a couple of storms back out to the north producing hail up to the size of Nichols near Brandon. There's actually a new warning up that direction. And I believe that's it for the most part for hail. There's also a storm down here west of Waynesboro near Greencastle. That's been its highest golf or ping pong ball size hail. I mean, 1.4 inches it's peaked at. So that's kind of another storm that we've been watching as well pretty closely. And the one over here was warned for golf ball sized hail at one point. It has peaked, it looks like, around ping pong ball size. So that again is moving through portions of now Virginia. But that was again from almost an hour ago. And the latest reports, though, in terms of hail up here are more recent. So that's what we got going as of right now. All right, let me go back over to the radar. All right, let me go back over to that. There we go. Thanks, Tristan. Appreciate it. Hey, pilot guy, how you doing? Welcome back. No problem, David. I appreciate you tuning in. I haven't issued warnings for Bucks County or Philly yet. Yeah, you guys are not going to see storms probably until a little bit later tonight. If you want more specific timing, by the way, on tonight, make sure to check out my latest forecast. It has all the timing details for tonight's storms. So make sure to check that out. Again, we'll be live here for a while, so make sure to stay tuned, and we'll give you the latest weather information, as I mentioned before, as these storms roll through, again, New England, as well as the Northeast. And again, this has been the main area of storms that we've been watching here for a while. And this storm's been producing some pretty prominent hail threat as well. Let me take a look if we have any live cams in this area. We'll kind of get an idea if we have anything there. I don't know if we do, because this is kind of the only area that might have something is maybe Manchester Center, so we might get a view on this. We'll see. Let's take a look. And as of right now, it doesn't look like there's any cameras in this area, which is unfortunate. Kind of hoping to be able to see something. Maybe we can get something out in front of this. Springfield, maybe? Mount Holly. Mount Holly might be seeing rain right now. If Mount Holly has anything. Mount Holly, I believe, is in this warning, but the storm's actually outside of the warning. I'm surprised they haven't issued a new warning here, because it is a little bit further south than what the warning has anticipated. As of right now, I'm not seeing anything there. No cameras as of right now in this area. That's good, Aaliyah. Appreciate you tuning in. Think it'll be bad in New Jersey later? There's probably going to be a good chance you see some damaging winds tonight. That includes basically anywhere in New Jersey. Definitely has a good chance there. We have a pretty decent hail core developing back, by the way, up here northeast of Rutland. That's probably at least quarter-sized hail, if not even a little bit larger than that. So definitely, if you're anywhere near 4 or 100, that's moving off to the east right now. This warning does include a lot of locations on the left side of your screen, but it is moving off to the east. Woodstock and maybe just south of Interstate 89 will be the main areas in the track of this cell over the next several minutes, and we'll have to watch this pretty closely. Again, let's move it off to the east. We do have a new severe thunderstorm warning that just got issued for areas in Salem, Manchester, Dorset, Manchester Center, as well as Rupert, Sandgate, Argyle, as well as Beartown, Jewel Corner, and Peru. A lot of those areas on the left side of your screen are included in a new warning for damaging winds up to 60 miles per hour, and as well as potential for some quarter-sized hail. Again, this is a cell moving off to the east-northeast as of right now. That is actually for this cell primarily. It also does include, though, this cell that's ongoing here. That's probably still quarter and maybe $half-sized hail. That's moving off to the east-northeast, though, as well. That will be going towards Springfield in a little bit. So definitely a couple storms to watch very closely there. Again, new warning just got issued there, so make sure, again, you're staying away from windows. Again, damaging winds up to 60 miles per hour can knock over trees and can definitely pose a threat there. And again, the storm's right now moving off to the east-northeast. Let me go back over to the velocities. I'm kind of curious. Rotation shows it's strong, but I don't think that's really in the storm there. Yeah, it's kind of outside the storm. It's mainly strong downburst winds as of right now at this cell. Welcome back, Runway. Yes, Kyle, it is. Yes. It gets stuck? I don't know. Mine's always worked. I've never had really an issue with mine. I love my circle water, though. It's so good. How bad is this storm? This one, right? I mean, all the storms right now are primarily quarter to $half-sized hail and damaging winds around 60. But we are definitely watching for maybe some higher damaging wind gusts, and as well as that potential for maybe a isolated tornado threat as well. Because we are, again, there's a bit more of a low-level jet in this area today. So we'll have to watch that pretty closely. Currently, by the way, down over in Maryland areas, as well as near West Virginia as well as Virginia. They are still seeing some damaging winds right now. Not really a whole lot of any rotation with any of those storms. Again, low end tornado threat down that direction, much lower than up here actually, but watch that area as well pretty closely. We're currently in Vermont, but we're pretty much, all the severe weather is anywhere extending from Vermont all the way back down into right now Virginia. Yeah, it's a pretty decent looking supercell right now. This one's been long lived too. This single cell has actually been on the radar, I think at least since noon. I've been watching it ever since, at least lunchtime, so. Hey Jackson, how you doing? Well, Fort Worth see storms this afternoon. Let me take a look. I don't think we were forecasted to see much. I didn't really think of it, but I don't think we're going to see much today. If we see anything, it'll probably be tomorrow. Yeah, today we're not going to see anything unless you're south of Waco. Tomorrow there might be a couple of isolated downpours, but it's going to be very isolated, unfortunately. It's not going to be like anything widespread or anything even scattered. I'm doing good, Runway. How you doing? Hey, thanks, Kyle. Appreciate it. Thanks, appreciate it. Yeah, Circle's really good, though. I love it. All right, let me see. I think this is all the warnings we got as of right now. I'm going to take a look. We got, obviously, a bunch of warnings down here. We actually got some new ones. Let's hop over down here to the south. Again, we have a lot of damage reports as well coming out of the storms from southeast of Morgantown. Reports of trees down throughout the county, including several in the area of Route 26 and 50 in West Virginia. Reported trees down along the county, and that does include the crossing of Route 7 near the Cheat River. I kind of already mentioned that one before. And then we also have tree down on Knoxville Road. We mentioned that. Tree down on Beverly Pike. That's a new report. And tree down on Laurel Road Run. So that's a new report as well. Also some recent nickel-sized hail reports over in Western Port. So that's a new report there. Trees down blocking Buck Valley Road. That's also a new report. So a lot of trees down so far with these storms. And again, these will continue that damaging wind threat around 60 to maybe 65 miles per hour as these move off to the east. And again, areas like Kaiser as well as areas down here near Petersburg, they're going to be seeing the storms momentarily. Kaiser's right now seeing it. Romney's going to be seeing this here pretty shortly as well. Wardensville as well going to be seeing some storms within the next 30 to 40 minutes. Just make sure, again, you're staying away from windows as these storms do approach. We've had a lot of trees down already, and it's definitely make sure to be safe and get to the lowest floor possible if you're ever in these damaging windstorms, because, again, trees can fall on homes. We actually saw that last night up in Michigan with only one single cell, and it's definitely not out of the question. Also, another area of storms right now, this is currently moving off to the east. That is for Waynesboro. This is a warning ongoing as well for Gettysburg as well as Carroll Valley as well. Shippensburg, those areas all included for damaging winds up to 60 miles per hour as core-sized hail. Another little cell up here now near Mount Holly Springs. That's also moving off to the east right now near Harrisburg. That's going to be going off in that direction over the next several minutes. So those are the warnings we got in the Virginia area as of right now. We also got a cell, as I mentioned before, down west of Charleston, and we will be watching that cell pretty closely. I believe we have new damage reports coming in from up here over in New York. This is from the cells that we're watching as well pretty closely. Multiple tree branches down per photo submitted on social media. So that is up in Argyle at 2:30. So that was about 40 minutes ago, but that report literally just came in. So we do again have that ongoing threat for, damaging winds, which is going to pose that threat for some trees and maybe even some branches falling down as well along with that. And we also had a wind report of 50 miles per hour over in Saratoga County, which is in Edinburgh. So another report there of some possible damage, but as of right now, mainly just going to be the damaging wind report. As of right now, again, not a whole lot of rotation yet, but we'll be watching that threat closely as these storms again track off to the east northeast. It's good to hear, Runway. Colorado Springs, I don't think we'll see much today. If you see anything, it's not going to be severe. Ohio's probably not going to see anything today. And North Carolina is going to stay pretty minimal. No severe weather is expected there either. Let's take a look how many warnings we got. We have a few flash flood warnings, by the way. One over in Colorado, Arizona, one in New Mexico, and one in Florida. So we actually got a few of those going. Okay, so we got 7, which is 23. That's 17. We're up to 17 warnings. Let me up this again. 17 right now. Got a lot of severe thunderstorm warnings still ongoing right now. Alexander, the one in Fenton was a weak tornado. It caused some minor damage. Or by minor damage, I don't know what you consider minor damage at this point, but it did damage a lot of a roof. There's a lot of trees down in this 1 yard. Again, if you want to see the photo, it is on our Discord server in the announcements tab. I will link our Discord in the chat. That's going to be linked by Nightbot. Check that out. It should be linked here in a second. There you go. So you can check out the link in the chat if you want to join our Discord server. Again, check out the photo from that tornado last night over in Fenton, Michigan. We were live for that. So thank you, girls, as well as Aiden, for subscribing. I appreciate it, guys. Welcome. New mesoscale discussion. So we have a new mesocyclone discussion. That is for areas in Kentucky. That's eastern Kentucky, southeastern Kentucky, and extreme northern or northeastern Tennessee. And threat for mainly damaging winds. A watch may be issued, and that is going to have been, let me see if I can put it up on the map here. That is going to be down here. So this area here, basically anywhere from Knoxville and off to the north, that is your area where we might get a new watch issued here pretty shortly. 40% chance of it being issued, but definitely a possibility. Severe weather is going to be possible again as far south and as far west as Arkansas today, out of that area of storms. We do have a new severe thunderstorm warning that just got issued. That does include Woodstock, going toward Lebanon here pretty soon, going closer to New Hampshire. This is producing the potential for damaging winds up to 60 miles per hour, and as well as quarter-sized hail. And that's tracking off to the east as of right now. White River Junction, Woodstock, Heartland, Four Corners, Woodstock Village, Windsor, Killington, Shrewsbury, saying them right, probably not, Plymouth, as well as Heartland, Bridgewater, Mendon, Reading, as well as West Windsor, and Hartford, Bernard, and those are the main areas included, as well as Stockbridge. And brand new warning there. Let's move off to the east. If we have any rotation on this storm. This storm's starting to develop a little bit of an inflow, but not a whole lot. Right now, just mainly winds. We'll have to watch that one pretty closely, though. And this cell right here, that's northeast of Manchester Center, and as well as Manchester, this has been producing, again, pretty large hail, probably quarter to $half size right now. It's been a pretty impressive cell as it moves off to the east. Again, this one's been the most discreet cell we've seen today. Christian, if you want more information on Hurricane Darby, you can check out our latest forecast. There's a whole little explanation there at the end of the forecast there on that. All the storms right now over in the northeast are either moving east or east-northeast. If you're down in like Virginia and whatnot, they're either moving east or east-southeast. Again, these storms are currently moving off to the east. This one particularly is moving a little bit more east-northeast. And again, we've already had damage reports with this cell. We've had, again, several damage reports with this entire line of storms. And we've had, again, a lot of damage down here over in West Virginia, and as well as even into portions of now extreme southern Pennsylvania. And that threat will continue over the next several hours. This is a warning, by the way, ongoing. I don't think I mentioned this one. This is over in New York right now. This is producing damaging winds around 60 miles per hour. That does include Walton, Delhi, as well as Roxbury, Meredith, Hamden, Andes, as well as Stamford. Those are the main areas included. That's moving off to the east right now. So, again, damaging winds up to 60 being the main threat. Again, this is all currently moving off to the east. And this was a cell. Again, this is a cell from earlier that was producing really high winds and as well as golf ball size hail. That is completely fizzled out. It's basically just rain now. Very good news overall on that cell. And by the way, if you're just tuning in and you're from New Hampshire, Massachusetts, any of those areas, again, a severe thunderstorm watch will likely be issued in those areas here within the next hour. So stay tuned. Probably at least going to get issued here for northern New Hampshire. Northern and central New Hampshire will probably be in a watch here pretty soon. Hey, Moxie, how you doing? There was a tornado warning over in Florida earlier. That was about it. We were covering that at pretty close to the beginning of this. As of now, no confirmation on that tornado, but yeah, it had some pretty strong rotation there. There's actually 2 areas of rotation down in Florida from earlier. Other than that, though, nothing else. All right, here we go. Again, if you have any questions, feel free to leave those in the chat. If you're just tuning in, again, hit the like button. We are currently 37 likes away from 150. Awesome, Pilot. Yeah, we do have a Discord. A report from DFW, partly to mostly sunny, fair day. Yeah, that's kind of what DFW's been here for a while, unfortunately. It's been very, very calm, and unfortunately, nothing in terms of rain, which we really desperately need at this point. You know if there's a confirmed tornado in Michigan? Yes, there was one. There was one up in Fenton. Again, go on our Discord server. I'll link it again in chat if you want to see a photo from that tornado. It's in our announcements tab. So we have, again, there was a confirmed tornado over in Fenton, Michigan last night. Nothing in Florida. There was actually a tornado warning in Florida from earlier. It was west of Tallahassee, northeast of Panama City. And the storm's currently moving off to the east-northeast. And this cell right here, south of Argyle, currently, again, producing quarter-sized hail, damaging winds around 60 miles per hour. And again, this is where your hail is as of right now. And going towards Salem. And as well as Manchester City. This cell as well, by the way, north of 11, that's also producing maybe quarter to maybe even $half sized hail. That's moving off to the east toward 100. A few other cells back up here to the northwest of Interstate 91 and south of Interstate 89. Those are also producing primarily damaging winds right now, so watch those pretty closely as well. This has been the decent cell, though, here for a while. Seeing these brighter greens, by the way, this is, again, the velocities. Oops, I'm on the wrong radar. Sorry, this is not a tornado warning. This is looking at the velocities, though. You can see that they're brighter colors representing some higher wind speeds as of right now. And, again, those could be as high as 60 to maybe even 65 miles per hour. This single storm, I believe, had a 50-mile-per-hour wind gust report a little bit earlier. Was not nearly as strong of a cell. So that's what we've seen so far. Again, that's going to be rolling through Salem here pretty shortly. And moving off to the east. New damage report down in southern Pennsylvania. Trees down on wires west of Mercersburg, if I'm saying the name right. So in Franklin County, Pennsylvania, there was again, some trees down on wires. So a new report there. That is associated with this cell right now that is moving, again, through Chambersburg right now, Waynesboro, and eventually going off to the east. We'll have to watch that storm pretty closely as well. I'll have to put on the national radar so we don't have to keep changing radars here. Need some rain in North Texas. I agree with that. Chambersburg is currently seeing that potential for damaging winds up to 60 right now. Yeah, warning we got it going. Let me go over to the other radar here. Go down to the storm again. This is the area of storms right now down near Chambersburg. And there might even be a little bit of potentially some $half or quarter-sized hail, excuse me, over near Chambersburg right now. That's about to cross over Interstate 81 as well. So that's what we got going over this direction. No problem, Gunner. Yeah, most of these storms are actually not that slow. Most of them are moving at decent speed. We have almost a dozen reports now of damage over here from these storms. There's actually one of trees down on West Veterans Memorial Highway in Rosemont. Also near Kingwood as of right now. There's reports of trees down throughout the county. I believe I already mentioned that one. This one I think is new. Near Route 26 and 50, reports of trees down. So yeah, we have about 7 reports here, I believe. So yeah, there's been a lot of damage with these storms, as I kind of mentioned before. And the one near Charleston, by the way, Charleston's now under a severe thunderstorm warning for damaging winds up to 60 miles per hour and nickel-sized hail. That storm's moving down to the east-southeast right now, going toward Cross Lanes. And Eleanor's right now as well about to get hit with this storm. So yeah, if you're anywhere in this area, make sure you're staying away from windows. Again, a lot of trees down with the storms we've seen so far today. And we'll probably see more from where that came from. We also have some new special weather statements down in Kentucky. Again, this is an area where we may get a severe thunderstorm watch here pretty soon. These are producing some gusty winds. So just keep that in mind. Probably going to get a new severe thunderstorm watch there. We'll probably get a new one here pretty shortly as well for those over in New Hampshire. So probably get that new watch here pretty shortly. Yeah, this is a cell right now over in New York. It's about to move into Vermont. This is near Salem right now. Moving off to the east. I'm on earlier today. Yeah, this is actually the earliest live stream I think I've ever had. 17 warnings a lot. I think we actually have more than 17 now. Let me double check. We have so many warnings that I can't really keep up with all the ones we have right now. The tracker, but let's take a look. 4, 5, 6, 7. Let's see, that's 10. Okay, so we're actually down a little bit. From 17 down to about 13. Or 14. All right, we're at 14 warnings right now across, again, the United States. That includes basically anywhere in the Northeast and all the way through Virginia. That does not, by the way, include flash flood warnings. It does not include any warnings besides severe thunderstorm warnings or, yeah, that's it. It only includes severe thunderstorm warnings. So, just for reference. I didn't realize that part. I forgot. Yeah, it's definitely earlier for you. It's that's a lot earlier for you. Got a little cell, by the way, developing here near Amsterdam. Excuse me, I can't talk today. That's near Interstate 90. That's moving off to the east. And we have a new special weather statement. This was the cell, again, producing that really high damaging wind threat of 70 as well as golf ball sized hail earlier. It's now down to just wind gusts of 40 miles per hour. That will be moving off to the east. And this cell, again, back down to the southwest of that cell is producing damaging winds up to 60, as well as penny-sized hail for Walton, Delhi, Roxbury, and Meredith, as well as Stamford. Cells right now moving off to the east. So that's what we got going as of right now. My radar says 23 warnings. Yeah, there is 23, but some of those are in Canada. And also a couple of those are flash flood warnings. Ohio's not going to see much this week. Actually, funny enough, this will probably be my last live stream for the next couple of days. We're not going to really have anything tomorrow or the following day. So there will be a little bit of a break, it looks like, from live streaming for at least a little bit. We do have a new mesocyclone or mesoscale discussion, by the way. That includes northeastern Minnesota. Isolated damaging wind gusts and large hail are possible throughout the afternoon. A severe thunderstorm watch is not expected at this time, but that is up in northeastern and northern portions of Minnesota, and that will actually go into Wisconsin here over the next few hours. So that's another area where we have a marginal risk of severe weather today. Not yet. Long Island is not going to see storms until probably at least, I would say, 6 to 7 o'clock, maybe a little bit after that. So, yeah, it will be a pretty quiet week overall. We're not going to see a whole lot. I will probably be shifting most of my focus after today to that area of development off the coast of Louisiana. Again, if you're just tuning in, we do actually have an area of development right now just south of Louisiana. That is a possibility of becoming a tropical storm possibly this week. It's going to bring significant flash flooding regardless of it becoming a tropical storm. Again, if you want to check out more information on that, you can watch our latest forecast. Again, these storms are currently moved off to the east, and we watch them again very closely. Low end tornado threat today. Overall main threat is going to be damaging winds. We have an enhanced risk of severe weather as of right now. That does include areas near New Jersey, but other than that, that is our main threat. We actually have a little bit more of a little area of rotation over here near Salem, but it's very, very broad. Nothing concerning yet. Fremont, Nebraska gets really little rain at all. There hasn't been a whole lot of rain in Nebraska. I mean, even though there's been a good amount of storm chances, they've been pretty minimal. They have not been like widespread by any means, so it's been pretty minimal there. Let me zoom out again. Let's take a look if we have any new warnings back down here to the south. Again, we've had a lot of damage reports so far. We have a new report of hail, of actually $half sized hail over in Belly Grove. That was in Allegheny County in, I believe that's, is this West Virginia? It's kind of a weird spot here. It's just east of Cumberland, though. Oh, it's actually Maryland. So, a little hail report there is right on the border, basically, of Pennsylvania and Maryland. So, again, there's been some pretty large hail down this direction. Let me put back on the radar down here. And I believe that was probably from this storm here. This is the storm that probably produced that $half sized hail. That's right there. And as of right now, this storm is warned for quarter-sized hail. That is north of Interstate 70. Again, tracking off to the east as of right now, going towards Waynesboro. Hagerstown as well included in a new warning for damaging winds again up to 60, and as well as up to quarter-sized hail. And another warning back out to there to the east of that. That includes Shippensburg right now. Chambersburg just got through that storm, but that's moving off to the east-northeast as well. That is producing damaging winds up to 60. As well as possibly some quarter-sized hail. And we also have a cell up here to the northeast that's currently on the development stages right now, southwest of Harrisburg. So that'll be going to a bit more of a populated area over the next several minutes. And we also have a new severe thunderstorm warning down here. I believe this was already issued, but this does include areas for Moorefield and Petersburg. That's going towards Wardensville. That's producing damaging winds up to 60 miles per hour, and as well as quarter-sized hail. This storm, really this entire area of storms here, is definitely more pronounced, definitely producing that damaging wind threat. And as of right now, that is currently probably going to produce at least quarter-sized hail. The pinks are probably representing a little bit larger of hail, but that is moving down to the east-southeast. Does currently include areas like Bean Settlement, Arthur, New Creek, Masonville, Lost City, Cabins, Lost River, Hopeville, Delray, as well as Dorcas. Those areas all included in this warning. Again, that's moving down to the east-southeast. We've already had almost a dozen damage reports with this area of storms as well. So again, if you're anywhere in these areas, stay away from windows if you're in a warning, because these are, again, dangerous storms. We do have a new special weather statement back up here to the north. Let's take a look at that. That does include areas in New Hampshire. This is for Plymouth as well as Bristol. Lebanion's also included. This is moving off to the east for gusty winds up to 50 miles per hour. Hey Douglas, how you doing? Welcome back. I think we have a little bit more warnings now, but let me take a look. Yeah, if you're just tuning in for the first time, we are only 10 likes away from 150. If you haven't hit the like button, I would really appreciate it. We are up to a little bit more warnings, I believe, now. We're up to about 18, or not 18, excuse me, about 16. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so we're up to 9 minus, you're at 16. Is that 15? Nope, that's 16. Okay, so we're up to 16 warnings now. Hey, Maxim, how you doing? By the way, right now near Salem, a little bit of a hail core here. That is possibly up to quarter-sized hail. Let me go and take a look at the hail radar. See what we're looking at in terms of hailstone sizes right now. It's like a second update. Again, your keys at the top of your screen. But as of right now, seems to be any of these reds, by the way, representing quarter-sized tail or slightly larger than that. That was from the cell earlier. The storm that's right now moving through Salem, this is from a few minutes ago, it was up to quarter-sized tail, possibly near 40. Latest scan showing possibly somewhere between about half-inch to maybe up to about nickel-sized tail. So right around penny-sized tail, I assume. But latest scans, again, a little bit more of a hail core there near 22. That has not been accounted for on this latest radar scan from the estimated hailstone sizes, so don't have that as of now. The storm back up here to the north, not nearly producing as much hail as before. Really, both of these storms not producing much in terms of hail anymore. This cell had up to $quarter to $half size hail. It is definitely dropped off, though. That is west of Woodstock. As of now, it looks like the hail has really dramatically fallen, probably down to pea-sized hail, which would explain the new warning, by the way, or really a special weather statement for maybe, pea-sized hail. This storm back down here south, or this is east of Franklin right now. This one is also producing, it looks to be somewhere probably around half-inch size hail. This will look at as of right now. It's peaking right around 0.7 inches, which might be penny-sized hail. So that's the storm over that direction as of right now. And again, these storms back down here to the south as well. This is all producing potential for hail. Again, Chambersburg, by the way, I think somebody might have been in the chat from Chambersburg, but there may have been hail as high as potentially quarter-sized hail. You can see it here. That was possibly quarter-sized hail there. So if you're in Chambersburg, let me know if you saw any hailstone sizes as that high. We may have had that. The storm back out here, the southwest of that, this was up to half-inch sized hail. Or excuse me, not half-inch, $half sized hail. The radar was estimating right around ping pong ball sized hail. So the radar estimates have been fairly accurate so far today, which is definitely good. So we at least have an estimate of what we're looking at on the radar right now. All right, let's go back to the radar up here. And this is the ongoing storm. This is heading toward Manchester Center. Again, we don't have any live cams on this. We'll keep you updated if we have any good views on these storms. But as of right now, it's pretty difficult to get any views on these storms since, again, it's not a rural area, but we just don't have a whole lot of anything to look at. It's just not a whole lot here. Most of the cams that we have are not that good. I'll definitely keep you updated if we have any good views on any of these storms. Take a look at this one, see if we have any view on this. Nope, nothing at all on that one either. There's a minor rotation further up. Let me take a look at my radar on here. Maybe a little bit of rotation on it. Yeah, again, the tornado threat could exist. Again, it's not high by any means, but there's a little low-end tornado threat today. There's actually a little bit of rotation on... This storm's had rotate. I mean, it's shown at least some sort of tightening of velocities here for a while. And there actually might be a little bit of something here. In comparison to where the radar is right now, there's a little bit of something there. This is, again, near 11. This storm has it's shown rotation for a good amount of time. And it hasn't really been rotating, though. It's been kind of off of the storm. The latest scan, though, does have a little bit more of a convincing look at it. But if you look at the radar site from Boston, south of Boston, there's actually no rotation. So, overall, there's really weak rotation. So that seems to be more of just a straight line wind situation with this storm. You do have to look at several radar sites, because you can look at this and say there's definitely tight rotation. But I mean, if you went down to this radar site on the same looking storm here, it might shock you, but there's nothing. You can just see it's just a bunch of red, which is usually just typically strong downburst winds, and then you kind of look at the cell from that direction. So I don't think there's a whole lot of rotation on this cell. I think the main threat is still downburst winds with this. We do have a new severe thunderstorm warning. This is an enormous severe thunderstorm warning that just got issued, and we have a new severe thunderstorm watch as well along with that. This severe thunderstorm warning just got issued until 4:30 Eastern time. This does include Claremont, Lebannon, as well as New London, Plymouth, Grafton, Hanover, Charlestown, Enfield, Cannon, as well as Holderness, as well as Ashland, Bradford, Danbury, Newport, Warner, Marlow, Piermont, as well as Alston. Those areas all included for damaging winds up to 60 miles per hour and nickel-sized hail. And we have a severe thunderstorm watch, again, that just literally got issued for western Maine. It also includes all of New Hampshire, actually, is included in this. That goes until 9 o'clock Eastern time, so this will be a long watch. I would expect the main threat after 8 o'clock, though, to be up in Maine. But if you're in New Hampshire, severe weather will be possible from in between now until about 7 or 8 o'clock tonight. Again, this is moving off to the east. So a new severe thunderstorm watch, again, just got issued. We may see one in Massachusetts later. Might. I'm not entirely sure, though, because we just got a new watch. I don't think we'll see a new one for Massachusetts, but you never know. There might be one if we see some increase of activity over that direction. So again, brand new severe thunderstorm watch got issued. Let me take a look if we have any new details on this in terms of what to expect for threats. As of right now, tornado threat is low. EF2 plus tornadoes obviously very low on that. Main threat, again, going to be damaging winds and possibly some $1.25 to $1.5 size hail. Low end tornado threat does exist really in all the watches. There's not really any difference in any of the watches that we got ongoing. There is a high risk for severe winds, by the way, down over in areas like Maryland and Virginia, extreme northern Virginia, I should say, as well as West Virginia. So there's a little bit higher of a threat down that direction. We will be getting our next Storm Prediction Center outlook here in a few minutes, we're like 25 minutes, but we'll get a new outlook here pretty soon. So stay tuned. We'll keep you updated with that as well. Thank you, Net Official, for subscribing. Appreciate it. Hey, Justin, how you doing? Welcome back. And this storm currently moving off to the east. That's going towards Springfield. We have a decent little bit of hail right now. Right now along 11 and near 103. That's, again, moving off to the east. So just keep that in mind. A lot of these storms, again, producing damaging winds from 55 up to 70 miles per hour. And we have a new severe thunderstorm warning as well down here near Bloomsburg. This is producing damaging winds around 60 as well as quarter-sized hail. That is for Millville as well as Benton. It's moving off to the east. So just keep that in mind. Again, new cell just developed there. And we have a whole area of cells again over here. We actually have a new warning for Harrisburg. That is for damaging winds up to 60 miles per hour and nickel-sized hail. That is also moving off to the east-northeast as of right now, near York Springs as well. So again, a brand new warning there that just got issued. We got plenty down here. We have now a considerable threat on this storm south of Romney. This is producing damaging winds up to 70 miles per hour and ping-pong ball-sized hail. So this is a brand new increase on the warning here. Let me see if we can find a radar site anywhere close by. I know one of the radar sites is out right now. I think the closest one's gonna be over here. It's got a better view on the storm though. This is an upgraded threat. Again, this was a previously 60 mile per hour winds. It's now up to 70. And it's also up to ping pong ball size hail. And this, wow, this actually looks pretty impressive right now. So this area of storms right now near Moorfield, Burlington, and Russelldale, Bean Settlement, again, Old Fields, all included in the warning. McNeil, all the names are on the left side of your screen, but you can see that this is a pretty impressive area of not just damaging winds, but definitely some hail. I mean, we're definitely talking $1.25 to $1.5 size hail. Can't rule out as high as ping pong ball size hail. So again, it's our latest on this warning. That's just east of 220 now. That will be moving toward Wardensville here pretty soon. So again, brand new warning. That, or really not brand new warning, but just got upgraded to 70 mile per hour winds as well as ping pong ball sized hail. Thank you, Deb, Robbie, as well as Luis for subscribing. We are now up to a destructive severe thunderstorm warning of damaging winds up to 80 miles per hour and as well as hen egg sized hail. This is a significant update from what we just saw in this warning. So this warning just got updated. It's now including Wardensville. It's currently moving off to the east, southeast as of right now. And this is currently moving off towards those areas. Again, going toward 48 and 259. Significant damaging winds are expected with this storm now. And again, significant threat expected with this. This is now up to a destructive severe thunderstorm warning. Again, very high winds are expected with this area of storms. And the radar very clearly shows that these brighter greens are representing very high wind speeds right now across these areas. And again, this is where our enhanced risk of severe weather kind of lies right now. So we're definitely looking at that potential for significant severe weather in this area. Again, significant damaging winds up to 80 miles per hour. And again, a hen egg sized hail possible if this storm as it moves off to the east-southeast. Hey, Steven, how you doing? Middle Tennessee will probably just see mainly strong storms. My expectation for tonight. We do also have a little bit of rotation in this cell. It's not strong by any means, but there is a little bit of rotation trying to develop. But overall, very strong downburst winds will be the main concern over the next several minutes. I'm going to try to see if we have any view on this storm as well. But as of right now, again, this is an ongoing threat for 80 mile per hour damaging winds. Very destructive supercell. Again, if you're just tuning in and you know anybody in this area, again, going towards Wardensville, this is off to the west of Middleton. This is in really far northern or far northeastern portions of West Virginia. Going to Maryland here pretty soon, as well as even northern Virginia. This is in near Warrensburg again. This is currently producing, again, damaging winds up to 80, as well as the potential for hen egg sized hail. Make sure you're sharing this with anybody that you know. Don't have to share the live stream by any means. Just make sure everybody's aware of this cell that's moving off to the east again. Very just dangerous supercell right now, heading off that direction. This also has some broad rotation, so we'll be watching that very closely. I'm going to take a look if we have any sort of angle on this storm as of right now. See if we have any view on it. Again, this right now in West Virginia. It's going to be moving into Virginia here pretty shortly. All right, I'm going to take a look if we have any view on this. Guessing nobody's really in this area, but never know. This might be the best view we get. All right, we got Wardensville cam. I'm not sure if it's going to show us anything, though. And it's not showing anything. It's looking straight down at the road. So we won't be able to look at that one. That's the only camera it looks like we got for that area. Or there. We have one over here, but I don't think it's going to show anything either. That's just showing the road. So we don't have anything as of right now, but we'll keep you updated if we get any view on this. Again, destructive supercell right now heading off to the east. The cell has a little bit of broad rotation. It's not strong, but there is a little bit of rotation here. We'll have to watch that pretty closely. Rotation is broad at this given time. The main threat, again, damaging winds up to 80 is no joke. That's honestly worse than an EF0 tornado, especially when it's a bit more widespread in this scenario. So we're still looking at a pretty significant threat right now. And the storm's currently moving off to the east-southeast. Stay away from windows. Dangerous storm right now. Saying there's rotation back out here to the east or west, I mean. I don't see any warnings. I'll take a look at my radar app, but I don't think there's anything. Set in Smithburg, West Virginia. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything up that direction. We have some high winds as well up to the north. That's near Hagerstown. That's over in, I believe, Maryland. This area up here. There's actually a new report of a large tree down over in Clear Spring in Maryland. So, Washington County there. There was a new report, again, of a tree down over that direction. I can imagine there's going to be a lot of damage reports from this cell right now. It's producing, again, damaging winds up to 80 miles per hour. Again, stay away from windows. The best thing you can do in the cell is to stay away from windows, lowest floor possible, especially when trees can just fall down with damaging winds again up to 80 miles per hour and head egg size tail. Very dangerous cell right now. Callahan, I made them all. No problem, Private. Yeah, I'm always live. I'm always live for this sort of stuff, so. Yeah, if you're new here and you want some live streams like this in the future, make sure to hit the subscribe button. Make sure to like the stream as well. I would appreciate it. We are pretty close to 200 likes, I believe. We're only 10 away. We'll keep you updated with the latest. We're still awaiting any sort of view on this storm. Again, it's in a fairly rural area other than Wardensville, but there's not a whole lot of people in this area anyways, and there's no cameras either, so we don't have any view on this as of right now, but keep you updated if there's anything there. And this is the cell I've been watching. Again, damaging winds up to 80 miles per hour. Hen egg size tail possible. Again, destructive area of storms right now heading off to the east. And it's still continuing right now. It's marching off to the east right now, going towards Wardensville. Wardensville will be hit within the next 5 to 10 minutes. Let me put a line on this area of storms as well. Give you an idea of timing and whatnot. Thank you, Linda, for the $20 super chat. I really do appreciate that. I'll read your message in just a second. Let me put the track on this. This is moving about 50 miles per hour. It's actually going kind of beelining toward Washington, D.C. actually right now. But this is Reston, 514. McLean, right around 524. Rockville, going to be right around 525. Annandale, right around 525. Arlington, 530. Silver Spring, 533. Washington, 534. That's Washington, D.C. And Alexandria, 535. That's the timing on this area of storms. If you're closer to areas like Wardendale, you can expect it to be there within the next 10 minutes. Winchester is going to be right around 420, Boyce 427, Middleburg, excuse me, about 449, Leesburg 5 o'clock, and Reston 514. That's your timing on this storm. Again, destructive winds up to 80 miles per hour, as well as hen egg size tail. Again, right now marching off to the east southeast. But again, thank you, Linda, for the $20 super chat. I really do appreciate your support. That is a very generous and very kind donation, and I appreciate your comment as well. Yes, I love doing what I do, and I'm glad I'm hoping to save some people and whatnot from these storms. We appreciate your very generous donation, though. There's a special weather statement in Texas. Let me take a look. You know where in Texas? Is that near, like, Central Texas, maybe? Actually, a couple of storms over in south of, currently, Interstate 20. Nothing too concerning. Cynthia, if you're, I don't know where that is exactly, West Virginia, but this is currently up in extreme, like, northeastern West Virginia. There's a couple of storms behind it near Charleston, for example, so there will still be a threat over the next few hours, but overall, the threat will still remain a little bit lower down to the southwest. This is, again, the main storm. This is, again, producing damaging winds up to 80 miles per hour, and, again, hen egg-sized hail, the highest threat level that we've seen in any storms today so far, except from that tornado warning, again, in Florida. But as of right now, again, this is currently producing significant damaging winds. It is, again, destructive supercell right now heading off to the east. Yes, Indiana's fine. Thank you, Matthew, as well, for the $20 super chat. Man, you guys are going crazy right now. Appreciate your $20 super chat as well. I appreciate it, Matthew. Thank you. Very well, do appreciate as well. You're very kind and generous donation. Really does mean a lot to me. Thank you. Really do appreciate it, guys. Thank you again, Linda and Matthew. Is Indiana good today? Yes, Indiana's not going to see anything today. Anywhere in the Midwest, you are good. Unless you are up in Minnesota or northern or central portions of Wisconsin, there is a marginal threat for severe weather today. It's a pretty low-end threat, though, today. Pretty much for damaging winds. Let me go over to the base velocities here. Get an idea what we're looking at here. These winds are extremely high right now. Look at the velocities. The radar's glitching out right now, but we are currently, it says 86. It's definitely not that, I mean, it could be that high. The radar is currently estimating, though, somewhere around 60 to 70, maybe 80 miles per hour right now. Again, that's just northwest of Wardensville, so we are looking at very high wind speeds right now with this storm. Again, it's warned for 80 miles per hour, so we're definitely looking at very high winds. Let me take a look at the hail radar. It is warned for hen egg-sized hail. We'll take a look and see what the hailstone size is right now. Wow, look at the hail core. Wow, that's impressive. Look at the hail that's being estimated by radar. It's actually almost as high as tennis ball sized. Back out here, well to the northwest of Wardensville. From only a couple of minutes ago, this is east of 28, almost 2.5 inches in diameter, being estimated by radar. That is extremely large hail that we're talking about, especially for West Virginia, for example. So we are definitely seeing some very high hailstone sizes as well with this area storm. So definitely keep that in mind. Again, if you know anybody in this area, make sure you're sharing this with anybody that you know over in northeastern West Virginia. And it's a very dangerous storm that we're looking at here. That's currently moving off to the east. All right, let's go back over to the live radar, give you an idea of what we're looking at. Again, this is the storm as of right now that we got going, producing, again, significant hail, and as well as damaging winds getting out to 80 miles per hour. Again, a destructive supercell. All right, let me take a look if we have any, let me look at the warnings right now. We got 22. That's 9 minus. Okay, so we're down to 14 warnings right now. 14 severe thunderstorm warnings. Let's drop that number again. We've been as high as 20 already, I think. We've been pretty close to 20 warnings total. We are now up to tennis ball sized hail in this storm now. Again, this is a destructive supercell right now in West Virginia. That's near Wardensville. So if you're just tuning in, again, a destructive supercell that is now up to tennis ball sized hail. And I was just mentioning it. It looked like it was up to tennis ball sized hail back here. So extremely large hail. Extremely high damaging winds. We're talking about a very dangerous supercell. Again, heading off to the east as of right now. Again, make sure that you are staying away from windows and in the lowest floor possible. It's not a tornado warning, but this is... Oh, actually, there is now a tornado possible label on this. So we actually have a possibility now for a tornado with this as well. So it's never ending with the cell at this point. But we are now talking about, again, damaging winds up to 80. Tennis ball sized hail. There's now a tornado possible label on this. You really should seek shelter even though those are not a tornado warning. It's good to take the proper precaution because there has been rotation on this. But yeah, again, this is going toward 29. Wardensville again's in the track of this. It does include Augusta, Bean Settlement, Yellow Spring, Delray, as well as Kirby, Rio, Capon Springs, Highview, Leeyu, saying the name right, as well as Inkerman. Those areas all included. Again, this is in northeastern West Virginia. We're talking a very destructive supercell right now. Significant severe weather that's going on with the storm right now. And if there were to be a tornado, let's go and take a look at this real quick. Back to the velocities. There's rotation up here. That's where it is. It's up in that hook. Strong winds down here right now. Again, that's north and northwest of Wardenville right now. Wardensville. And there's also rotation up here. That is where our rotation is with this specific cell. We might actually get a tornado warning, on this, but that is where it is as of right now. Again, this is a extreme supercell right now heading off to the east. Yeah, there's now a tornado possible tag on this. So again, make sure you're seeking shelter. I know there's not a tornado warning, but tornado possible is, I mean, there's definitely rotation on this. Very dangerous cell. It's always good to take that proper precaution with this sort of cell. Talking about pretty decent rotation on this cell, and along with that, we're talking the potential, again, for maybe a tornado with this. This is a very high wind situation right now, regardless of there being a tornado. Is it possible for there to be a significant tornado? Probably not today, but I mean, that's out of the question, but it's a very, very low chance. If we do see any tornadoes, they will likely be brief and weak. We do have a new mesocyclone discussion down in Tennessee. That is for, it's 20% chance of having a new watch being issued for that area. That is for central and western Tennessee. Isolated damaging winds might occur. Watch is not expected, though. Is Pittsburgh getting anything severe? Yes, Pittsburgh has a chance today. Will you see severe weather? Possibly. We are going to get our next Storm Prediction Center update on the outlook here pretty shortly. We actually already got it. So the new outlook, nothing actually I think has changed with this. It's still the same threats overall. We still have that enhanced risk of severe weather ongoing. Again, this is a look at the severe weather that we got ongoing as of right now. The enhanced risk, again, is back out here to the east. We're not even in that yet. Really, none of these storms are there yet. There's also a slight risk of severe weather, again, extending all the way through New Hampshire and Maine. That goes all the way down into Kentucky. There's a marginal threat that it goes all the way into Arkansas. So that's our threat level as of right now. But tornado threat still exists. It's low, but it's not zero. No problem, Shannon. Appreciate you tuning in. All right, latest radar update, again, still showing pretty decent hailstone sizes. It's, again, up to tennis ball sized hail. This, again, a destructive warning. This means that there could be the potential, again, for damaging winds up to 80 miles per hour. Again, that potential for tennis ball sized hail does exist as well. Any of these hail cores right here, you can see these black colors. That's representing your larger hailstone sizes. That's near 29, as well as west of 29. There's a couple areas there. There's a little bit of rotation, again, up in this area. We have a bit of an inflow going to the storm here. Overall, though, the tornado threat is going to be low with this storm. It's not zero, but it is a little bit higher than the rest of the cells that we got going as of right now. Again, tornado possible label is on this cell, so we can't rule it out. The storm's, again, moving east-southeast at about 50 miles per hour. It is quickly moving towards areas like Stephen City, Winchester, Strasburg as well. Wardensville is going to see the storm within the next couple of minutes. And again, we're talking about very high winds. Look at these greens. Again, these are representing possibly 70 mile per hour winds right now. The radar, I believe, is estimating somewhere around 70 as well. Let's take a look. It's actually estimating 60 at this given time. It was up to 80 at one point. Can't rule out that's still around 70 or 80, though. The radar's not always 100% accurate. Again, we are a little bit further away from the radar site right now, but I think we're about almost 100 miles away from the radar site still. So that's kind of what we're looking at right now. About 50 to maybe 60. Hey, Melanie, how you doing? Welcome back. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, the storm's currently moving off to the east and east-southeast. Again, Matthew and Linda, I do appreciate your $20 super chats. I know they're about to expire. I appreciate you guys. Thank you. All right, let me go over to this real quick. Yeah, if you have any questions about any severe weather ongoing, any weather in general, feel free to leave those in the chat. Again, we'll keep you updated with the latest. We're going to be live here for a while. This will be probably a good, long live stream. We're not going to have this be short or anything like that. So, Melanie, I went until, I think, midnight, maybe 12:30. I think that's when the live stream ended. 11:30 Central Time. And there was actually a confirmed tornado last night in Michigan. So we actually had one in Fenton, which was the second tornado warning that we're covering. So there was a confirmed tornado, which is kind of what I mentioned. Again, if you want to check out images from that tornado warning that we had last night, the tornado damage and whatnot, it's on our Discord server. Click the link in the chat that's about to be posted. Check that out. Again, we actually had a confirmation again of a tornado yesterday in Michigan. I was live for that. I think I was the only one live for it to begin with. And Nightbot posted the link, by the way, if you want to join our Discord server. Yeah, I know Texas needs rain. There's a couple of storms there right now, but they're pretty isolated. I only got like 7 hours of sleep last night. All right, let me take a look if we have any new outlooks or anything like that. I don't think we have any new watches yet. Yeah, as of right now, no new watches. Again, the watches currently extend from western Maine all the way through portions of West Virginia. So it's a pretty large area right now. Again, this is the main cell producing damaging winds up to 80 miles per hour. The overall rotation's weakened up here. It was a little bit stronger before. It's pretty broad right now, which is good news. But it really, the bad news is that this entire area here is possibly damaging winds up to 80 miles per hour. So we're still talking significant damaging winds overall with this cell. Wardensville as well. We're going to be seeing that storm here pretty shortly. That's kind of what we got going as of right now. And again, we still have some inflow up here. Definitely care what we get, that we get a little bit more rotation up here near 29. But as of right now, rotation, the latest scans has been slightly weaker, which is, again, good news there. We'll watch it very closely. Yeah, if you're anywhere on the track of the storm, stay away from windows, lowest floor possible. If you're in the track, at least in the next 10 to 15 minutes, it's the best thing that you can do. Again, trees can easily get knocked over from a storm like this. We are starting to get a little bit more warnings, it looks like now. Let me take a look. We actually have 2 severe thunderstorm warnings down in Kentucky. We have a new severe thunderstorm warning that is, again, a destructive supercell with a tornado possible label still on this. This does include Winchester, Stevens City, Boyce, Berryville, Strasburg. Again, what I can tell you right now is that this is possibly producing significant damaging winds. And again, I'm talking the potential for 80-mile-per-hour winds. That is basically an EF, 0 to EF1 tornado. That's kind of in this cusp of where it is at right now. So again, make sure you're seeking shelter immediately, away from windows, lowest floor possible. Because again, damaging winds up to 80 miles per hour can knock over trees. And again, tennis ball sized hail can do some pretty significant damage. So we're talking still a very significant threat right now in terms of this storm that we got going. We are up to 15 warnings now. Let me go and fix this. Now up to 15. We're actually up to 16. This is a very damaging, again, area of storms right now. Starting to bow out. Yeah, it is starting to bow out a little bit. You can see it here. A little bit of a bow shape to it. Again, this is the inflow where we have here. We could have a brief tornado somewhere up in there if the rotation starts to strengthen again. It looks like it kind of fell apart, though, a little bit, which is good news. Still has some pretty large hail, though. I do think the hailstone sizes might be slightly lower than before. Let's take a look at the hail radar. Give us an idea of what we're looking at here. And the latest scans, which is definitely good news. It could be strengthened, but the latest scan showing it's down to about ping pong ball sized hail. There was actually a few scans here that showed as high as almost 4 inches in diameter. Now, is that a radar glitch? Is that possibly, something else? Who knows? But it is estimating that it was actually possibly as high as almost 4 inches in diameter. Again, it's a radar estimate. It can be a little bit off. It might have been a guess, maybe even over baseball-sized hail. It's in a very rural area, so the likelihood of us even knowing if that hail was that high is going to be pretty low until at least somebody goes out there, or if somebody even lived in that area, possibly. But as of right now, we don't have any confirmation on that report. Yeah, we'll definitely keep you updated. Let me take a look at Twitter, see if we have anything on there. Not sure if we'll have anything, but you never know. Let's take a look. Again, hail may have peaked that high. I don't see anything, at least right now, in terms of hail in that specific area. Almost near Romney. Let me take a look if we have anything near Romney at all. In terms of hail, at least. There was probably damaging winds, obviously, but... north of Moorfield. Yeah, I'm not seeing at least anything yet in terms of reports, but we'll definitely keep you updated if we have any reports on that cell in terms of hail damage. Now, there very well could have, again, been... damaging winds still. Damaging winds are obviously going to be a much bigger concern right now. Take a look if we have anything on Twitter here. The winds right now are being estimated from the latest scan of 95 miles per hour just above the storm. So we are still talking extremely high winds right now with this cell. Again, this is a life-threatening situation. You should be seeking shelter immediately, according to the National Weather Source. Again, damaging winds is up to 80 miles per hour, is basically a EF0 to EF1 tornado, but much wider scale in terms of straight line winds. Very significant cell that we got going right now. Hey, you too, Tavion. Appreciate you tuning in. Hey, Storm Chaser, welcome back. These are the overall right now what we're looking at. Again, if you're just tuning in, this is going off to the east, going towards Stevens City, Winchester, and Berryville. This is, again, damaging winds up to 80 miles per hour. And they're wind gusts, Melanie. But this is right now moving off to the east-southeast toward Boyce. Again, right now, Wardensville, by the way, starting to see a little bit of a hail core here near Wardensville. See here near 49 or 48, excuse me, and 259, a bit of a hail core there. Keep that in mind. By the way, there's a small possibility that I do lose internet or power at some point because I am actually in a storm right now. So just keep that in mind. If this stream randomly goes off, I don't think it will, but if it were to, just keep that in mind that I might actually lose power for a brief moment, but we'll see. If I do, then I'll definitely let you know if I go live again, which I'll probably be live if that happens, but I will be live at least in terms of how long I can be live for, but I am in a storm right now. They have a camera, Crossway, Georgia. Okay. Yeah, this is the main cell we got going as of right now. Again, destructive supercell, 80-mile-per-hour winds. Again, tennis ball size tail right now, moving off to the east-southeast. Stay away from windows. Again, this is moving off to the east-southeast. Damaging storm right now. Up to 80 miles per hour. Let me take a look if we have any new reports from Wardensville. I'm not sure if we're going to have any reports. I'm going to see if we have any cameras out in front of this as well. Let's take a look if we do have any. A new severe thunderstorm warning got issued to the south of this. That's for damaging winds up to 60 and quarter-size tail. That does include Front Royal and Woodstock. This is the warning, though, that's still producing damaging winds up to 80, and as well as that tennis ball-sized hail threat. The huge hail core is now developed just south of Wardensville in the latest scan. So that is the latest on this cell. Again, Wardensville is the area that we now have pretty large hail now. Kelly, this is actually going right towards the DC area. It's going to take a couple hours, but it is going in that path. So DC is kind of in the track of this. So make sure you're getting prepared just in case it comes your way. Right now, again, tornado possible label is on the cell. You have a little bit broad rotation. All right, let me take a look if we have any cameras on this storm right now. Let's see. Not sure if we're gonna be able to find anything down over here, but you never know. And going towards Winchester and Stevens City. Let's see. Again, hail core right now near Wardensville. And again, damaging winds up to 80 miles per hour. Tennis ball sized hail occurring right now with the storm. Again, we'll be moving into Winchester here pretty shortly. Sorry, I'm trying to find a camera. I'm not having much success right now. Trying to get something on this storm right now. At least some sort of view on this. Let's take a look if we have anything here. So right now, none of them are really pointing to a good angle, so that's kind of not good. This Clearbrook, let's take a look at that. That's a little bit further to the north, but we might get something here. And nope, nothing there either. And south of Winchester, this is Stevens City. And nope, nothing yet. Okay. Again, I'll keep you updated if we have any photos on this or anything like that. But as of now, again, ongoing cell producing up to, again, tennis ball size tail, as well as damaging winds around 60 to 70, possibly as high as 80. Moving 50 to 55 miles per hour, again, off to the east right now. And again, here's your hail core right now, down to the south of this. I missed just a good old normal thunderstorm. Yeah, I mean, it's summer. Spring and summer have the worst storms. You have more of those ordinary storms during the fall and winter. Hey, no problem, Vicky. I appreciate you tuning in. No problem. Appreciate you coming by and saying hi. Hope you're doing well. Tennis ball size tail. Yeah, tennis ball size hail is pretty crazy. I've never seen any hail above quarters before, but hailstone sizes like this are pretty significant. We have a dozen damage reports coming in, by the way, from Hagerstown. We'll probably have a lot more with this storm as well. But a bunch of damage reports have been coming in from areas in Maryland and extreme southern portions of Pennsylvania. We'll get to those here pretty soon, but there's a lot of damage reports coming in with those storms as well. And that's what we got going as of right now. Again, we'll keep you up to the latest. Make sure to hit the like button if you're just tuning in. We're 5 likes away from 250. And if you have any questions, again, feel free to leave those in the chat. We are back down to 15 warnings right now. Let me drop that down one more. And we're at 15 total severe thunderstorm warnings. That does not include flash flood warnings. Reference. And destructive supercell right now heading toward Stevens City and as well as Winchester. See if we can get a view at the velocities again. This is what the velocity shows right now. I think it's a little bit glitched here. Let's look at the velocities as of right now. Again, it's kind of hard to see what we're looking at right here, but this is the area of really high winds right here. Yeah, it's going towards Stevens City. This is the high area of winds. There are some damaging winds on the outskirts of this. Again, it extends down here to the south, just west right now, Strasburg. And I'll be going toward Front Royal. Just keep that in mind. Again, Winchester as well, kind of in the area where you might see something. The rotation as of right now is up here, just for reference. So on the northern part of this right now, that's kind of where we have some broad rotation. It is not strong. It's not something you really have to be panicking about. You really should be worried more about the straight line wind damage potential over the overall tornado potential right now, just for reference. You think Pennsylvania, Maryland storm is going to get bad? When it goes to Stewartstown, most of the storms up that direction, I mean, other than this one cell, the ones up that direction, the main threat will be 60 to 65 mile per hour winds and maybe some $half size hail. But this storm specifically is going to probably stay severe like this, probably at least for the next several minutes. They're still on tennis ball size hail. No new updates on this warning yet. This warning is still conductive for those high risks in terms of damaging winds as well as extremely large hail still with this cell. The radar is still estimating around 60 right now, but again, it could be higher than that. We're talking the potential for up to 70 to 80 miles per hour is not out of the question. We've already possibly seen that prior, and it might still be that high. We've seen just slightly above the surface, I'm pretty sure, higher winds than that. So definitely talking very high winds overall right now. There's obviously a potential for maybe an isolated tornado with the storm too. It has a little bit of broad rotation. We'll watch that closely as well as it moves down to the east and southeast. We have a new warning. This just got updated now up to hen egg-sized hail and now damaging winds around 70 miles per hour. This is for those in Woodstock, Front Royal, and Strasburg. And again, Woodstock, I think I mentioned that already. But those areas are the main areas included in this warning. Again, we just got upgraded from 60 miles per hour up to 70, as well as from quarter-sized hail now up to hen egg-sized hail. So a big difference there. The main area of hail and damaging winds is existent right here with this cell specifically, this particular portion of, again, this destructive area of storms. The other area that's producing, again, that threat is back up here to the north near 259. This area here specifically is producing that other threat of hail and as well as damaging winds right now. The most significant damaging winds of this entire thing is going to be embedded in this entire area here. And that's really where we have the strongest downburst winds. Again, a bit of a bow shape now kind of developing on this. Again, going towards Stevens City, Winchester, Boyce, Berryville, all on the track of this. Strasburg going to be on the track of this within the next couple of minutes. This is currently up in West Virginia. It's entering into Virginia right now. And eventually going towards Maryland. And eventually toward Washington, D.C. This is nothing. This is not a derecho. This is definitely not a derecho. A derecho has to be much, much longer than this. Derechos are like over 200 miles long. And they have to last a good amount of time. And they have to produce basically widespread damage in terms of damaging winds and whatnot. Yeah, southern Vermont right now, I don't know if you're seeing a whole lot. I know central Vermont was seeing some storms. Other than areas just to the east, it looks like a Manchester City, there's not much right now for those like Wilmington and whatnot. Dover, those areas right now, not seeing any severe weather. Severe weather right now is off to your north. And this is a destructive supercell. Look if we have any new mesoscale discussions. As of right now, nothing new. Again, there's an enhanced risk of severe weather. And again, this warning specifically is nowhere even close to that enhanced risk of severe weather yet. The actual area where the Storm Prediction Center has issued that enhanced risk is actually for Washington, D.C. and Maryland areas, and as well as northeastern Virginia. This goes all the way up through areas into western and northwestern New Jersey. So it is there's still an enhanced risk that most of these storms have not entered yet. So the first cell that's actually entering that now is near Thurmont. Westminster is also about to get hit by that in Eldersburg. So just for reference. Slight risk of severe weather does extend through Maine and goes all the way down through areas of Virginia. Marginal risk goes from Maine all the way down to Arkansas. So it's again, a very large risk area today. No problem for Monster. Yeah, if you're anywhere on the track of the storm, if you're in Stephen City, Winchester, Berryville, Boyce, Strasburg, Front Royal, or Woodstock, get away from windows, lowest floor possible. Treat it as if it is a tornado warning, because again, damaging winds as high as 80 miles per hour can literally knock over trees and put them into houses. I'm talking about, I mean, this is an area where we have a lot more trees than usual, in most areas at least. In terms of the Central Plains, it's a lot more fields. Obviously, out this direction, there's a lot more trees and whatnot, so it's a much bigger risk overall. And we're also talking about tennis ball sized hail, which again can break through windows and whatnot. So make sure you're staying away from windows. Don't try to look out your window for it. And the storm's currently moving off to the east. And if you're new here, by the way, and you want to support our channel, you can hit the subscribe button down below. It's free to do when we do live streams like this all the time. And also make sure to like the live stream. Only 30 likes from 300. We'll keep you updated with the latest. If you have any questions, feel free to leave those in the chat. As of right now, again, we have a lot of damage reports coming in from those up in extreme northern Maryland as well as into southern Pennsylvania. We've already had several. We'll get to those here soon. We also had a cluster of damage reports back out here to the west, and this was associated, by the way, with this storm, and it was not nearly as severe at the given time near Clarksburg. So we've already had damage reports already out for that direction. And that area, by the way, did not really see a whole lot in terms of a severe weather threat. It was mainly just damaging winds around 60 miles per hour. So we're probably still looking at a pretty significant threat right now with this area of storms right now moving off to the east-southeast. Yeah, there's not a whole lot of sirens in this area. I wouldn't doubt it. This area doesn't see severe weather that often, which would be why. Again, this storm's about to be moving through Winchester here pretty shortly. And it's also going to be moving through, again, areas near Boyce. We have a couple of cameras on this, but nothing that is showing the storm. But again, if I find anything, I'll definitely keep you updated. Definitely getting darker, though, over that direction right now. Warning is now up to 90 miles per hour. We are now up to a 90 mile per hour threat now with this storm. This is a very significant threat. I mean, we're talking possible. This is basically EF1 type winds that we're looking at in a widespread sense across this warning. So again, get away from windows, lowest floor possible. Not to panic you, but this is a very dangerous storm that we're talking about, and it's hard to, you know, get this out to enough people. We need to make sure, again, if you know anybody in this area, make sure they're aware of this cell. And we're up to 90 mile per hour winds. And again, tennis ball sized hail. This is not typical, again, for this area. So that's why not a lot of people are aware of this. So if you know anybody, again, this is over in northern Virginia near Winchester, going towards Berrysville, as well as Boyce and Stephen City. Again, winds up to 90 miles per hour are possible. This is basically like an EF1 tornado, but in a sense, it's basically just straight line winds in a more widespread environment. So again, we're talking about significant winds right now. Get away from windows, lowest floor possible. This is a very significant cell that we're looking at right now. The highest winds are going right now, it looks like, towards Stephen City. But this is a very dangerous cell that we're talking about. I mean, I can't urge it enough. Get away from windows. This is, again, very dangerous overall. I'm still trying to find if we have any view on this storm, but it's very difficult to get that right now, since we're just really in still not a whole lot of cameras in this area. Again, very dangerous storm, though. I mean, it's hard to urge it enough, but I mean, this is just it's basically, I mean, you have to treat this like a tornado warning, and I feel like not enough people will be treating it like a tornado warning in this sort of sense, because again, damaging winds up to 90 miles per hour is literally basically an EF1 tornado, just on a, again, more widespread scale, and again, being straight line winds. Again, the latest updates up to 90 miles per hour. Yeah, so right now, the latest warning updates, I'm just looking at it. Yeah, basically what the National Weather Service even says in their warning is extremely dangerous situation with tornado-like winds expected. Mobile homes and high-profile vehicles are expected to sustain damage and whatnot. So, yeah, again, this is basically as if it was to be a tornado. Again, it's an extremely dangerous storm that we're looking at here. Fortunately, there's just no view on the storm right now. Again, 90 mile per hour winds are right now ongoing with this storm moving towards Stephen City. Destructive. I mean, it's unfortunate. This is an area where this sort of severe weather just doesn't happen that often, so it's not like a lot of people know about it to begin with. This is not a derecho. The derecho is much longer than this. They're like 200 miles wide. This is only like 30 miles. Derechos have to last a long time. Gabe, right now we're looking at a destructive supercell. This is over in Virginia. And again, this is moving off to the east, southeast. It will be going toward Washington, D.C. eventually, but we're talking 90-mile-per-hour damaging winds now in this cell. It's very significant still, what we're seeing right now. I need to share this to Twitter as well. I'm going to make sure people know about this. And if you want to tweet this live stream out so people can get coverage as well, definitely feel free to. Retweet my tweet on Twitter. I'm about to tweet something. But yeah, I mean, I'm just trying to get this out to as many people as possible because this is a very dangerous cell right now. Steven City. All right. I just tweeted something. If you guys want to retweet it to people that you might know, again, you can check out our Twitter. It's linked down in the description below as well. But we're, again, this is an extremely dangerous cell that we're looking at right now. Any airports near there? Let me take a look. I don't think we do, but I'll take a look just in case. Let's see if we have any METAR data in this area. And I don't think we do. And no, we don't. The closest one's back out here near Petersburg. Yeah, Petersburg. So we don't actually, wait, we actually have one. There's actually one right here. That's from 355. There's a 21-mile-per-hour wind gust. So we might get a new update on this pretty shortly. I believe the winds are slightly south of there, if I'm not mistaken. Actually, they're going to go close to that airport. This is where the highest winds are, is near Stephen City. So that's how we're looking at it right now. Again, the area that there might be a little bit, I mean, that's where the airport is. It's kind of right there. So there is actually a little airport there. We might get a little bit of information on the actual wind speeds here momentarily. So that's what we're looking at right now. Let me go back over to the hail radar real quick, give you an update on the hailstone sizes as well. Again, this is warned right now for, it's an extremely dangerous situation. PDS is more for tornadoes, but this is basically an EDS. Extremely dangerous situation. LANG9, by the way, thank you guys for subscribing. Thank you, Justin, by the way, for bringing that up. We have a new wind report. Numerous trees down in Wardensville. So, go figure. I mean, this is, again, a very dangerous storm right now. We have a little area back out here to the west. That is probably, this is from the latest scan, which was probably about 5 or 6 minutes ago. Hailstone sizes, probably right around tennis ball size still. And there's also down here with the other warning, it's possibly as high as about almost tennis ball size as well, west of Tom's Brook. So, again, brand new information there on that cell. Hail, again, is as high as potentially tennis ball size. Numerous trees down as well as in Rio. So we have a couple of new reports there of trees being down. Again, this warning is still ongoing. Destructive supercell, 90-mile-per-hour winds are still ongoing potentially with this storm. We'll get our latest update on wind speeds and whatnot here pretty soon. Yeah, if you're on a motorcycle, that is just not safe. Hey guys, I'm going to link a tweet in Twitter or in the chat. Make sure to go click on and retweet if you know anybody in this area. I'm trying to get as many people as possible to be able to see this because I don't know how many people are living in this specific area, but I know a lot of people probably are not going to be that aware of that threat. Hopefully, though, as many people as possible do know about it because, again, this is not a situation to be kind of joking around with right now. The latest few scans, by the way, the overall winds have gone down slightly near Stephen City. So we'll have a little bit of an update again on wind speeds possibly here pretty shortly. There is an airport, again, just south of Winchester. You know somebody that's in Richmond, Virginia? Richmond, Virginia is nowhere near this storm. This is, again, Northern Virginia. This storm does have a tornado possible label on it, so there is a possibility. I don't think the rotation, though, is that strong. It's been very broad. The area where we did have a little bit of rotations on the northern part, which is kind of near Winchester now, it's very broad, though, right now. Overall, the main concern is definitely going to be damaging winds. 90 miles per hour. And the latest scans are starting to show a little bit of this breakage in the storm. It's not nearly as, prominent in terms of that bow shape that we had before. It's still there, but the winds seem to be dying down a little bit, I think. Might be good news. But the highest winds are still near Stephen City. We still could be talking maybe 70 in this area. But it is still warned for 90, I believe. And yeah, it's still warned for 90-mile-per-hour winds. Moxie, we're currently under, this is the warning we got going right now. That's all you missed. Again, this is a very dangerous storm. This is again in Northern Virginia. Dragon, no, these storms will not be that bad up in Massachusetts tonight. Main threat up there will be 65 to 70 mile per hour winds. Night, I wouldn't think there would be that in Spain. I wouldn't think so. Okay, we're down to 13 warnings. But obviously, the 2 that we got going here are very significant. No problem, Dragon. Yeah, if you have any questions about any of the cells or anything like that ongoing, feel free to let me know in chat. Again, this storm is a very destructive cell, 90 mile per hour winds, tennis ball sized hail. And if you're just tuning in for the first time and you want to hit the subscribe button down below, I would appreciate it. Again, we do live streams like this all the time. By subscribing, you're not going to miss out on our live streams anytime. Again, we do live streams all the time on all severe weather events. And we also went live for that one tornado warning last night, which actually did spawn a tornado up in Fenton, Michigan. Get more details on that in our Discord server. All the links are in our description below. Yeah, it had a bit more of a hook before. It's not nearly as prominent now, but the area where the hook was with a bit more of a bit of a rotation was up kind of here, but it's not really defined anymore. So good news there. We might get a new update on this warning here pretty shortly. We'll see. The overall hail core, by the way, is a bit more prominent now down near Tom's Brook, just south of Strattsburg. We're looking at now. Hey, Becca, how you doing? We got going as of right now. Let me go back over to the velocities. I think the velocities are going down a little bit. Right now, where we're looking at the wind speeds are near Stevens City now. Let me go over to the METAR, see if we have any updated information there. This is at 355. We don't have any new update yet on this. Hoping we get a new update on this here pretty shortly, though. The temperature, by the way, 88 degrees, dew point of 70 at the given time. That wind gust, again, was 21 miles per hour. That was about almost 30 minutes ago, though, now. Down here again, Strasbourg right now seeing that hail threat. That's what we're looking at down this direction. Hail threat is primarily here, it looks like now. But we should be getting a new update on this storm here pretty shortly, because I do think the storm's weakened a little bit, at least in the hail regard. We're probably still looking at some pretty high winds, though, regardless. This is currently moving off to the east. Make sure you're staying away from windows, lowest floor possible. If you're in Boyce, Berryville. If anybody in the chat is from Winchester or Stevens City, I don't know if anybody is, let me know. I don't know if you have any idea of what the conditions may have been like if you're in shelter. Again, it's going to be going towards Washington, D.C. eventually, in Arlington and areas near Reston and Middlesburg. That's the area that's going off that direction. Okay, we had a couple reports of numerous trees down in both Wardensville as well as in Rio. So we're going to have trees down in those areas. But so far, again, damage wind still up to 90 miles per hour possible. Storm's currently moving off to the east. See what we have on the latest update on. See if we have anything on radar scope yet. There was hail reported in Strasbourg of only pea-sized, but that was not where the hail core was. Just reference. It's kind of up here. The hail core is still down here right now. The report was up here near Interstate 81. This is where the potential for maybe some NTXWC hail does exist right now. There's no tennis ball sized hail anymore, I do think, at least at this point. I don't see that threat existing. Taking a look at the, I don't know if there's any update on the warning yet. As of now, there's no update. It's still 90 miles per hour, so we're still looking at high winds. Thank you, Thomas, for subscribing. I'll keep you updated with the latest. We'll kind of watch the storm pretty closely. If you have any questions, again, feel free to leave those in the chat. Storm's again moving off to the east as of right now. Yeah, we got a wide view of things. We got warnings, again, stretching all the way down to Kentucky. One in Charleston right now. And we also got warnings extending all the way up to New Hampshire. Again, we'll get to all those here pretty soon. We have a new warning over north of Baltimore at 60 mile per hour winds as well as quarter-sized hail. Again, we'll keep you updated with this one for the moment, and then we'll start going through the other storms here pretty shortly. All right, now the warning's been downgraded. Good news. So the warning is now down to 70 mile per hour winds as well as quarter-sized hail. So again, that's actually good news, but it's still high winds, but I would definitely best make sure you're still aware of this storm. Still stay away from windows. Do the thing that I mentioned before. Stay away from windows, lowest floor possible. But the threats, luckily, have gone down just a little bit on this storm. And the other storm, by the way, is down to quarter-sized tail. So both storms are down to quarter-sized tail, both of them at 70-mile-per-hour winds. So good news. But obviously, for those that might have already seen the storm behind that, like Wardensville, the winds may have been as high as 80 to 90. Melanie, basically, for hurricane force, kind of like category 1 level almost. Or it is category 1 level, almost category 2 level. What do you think of Central Connecticut tonight? There might be some storms. I'll give you a little bit of a breakdown here in a second. We have some more damage. I'm going to get to a lot of these damage reports and also the other storms. Let's go and hop over to a few of these other storms right now. We have a lot of storms right now and a lot of reports to get to. There's a lot of damage on these storms. We have a lot of reports, actually. All right, give me 1 second. I need to turn my light. All right, here we go. All right, so let's get to the warnings and whatnot that we got going as of right now. We got plenty in New Hampshire now. We actually got a severe thunderstorm warning that's ongoing for those in Laconia, as well as Meredith, Bristol, Franklin, Concord, Hillsborough, and Pittsfield. Those areas are included for the potential for damaging winds up to 60 miles per hour and quarter-sized hail. That line's moving off to the east. We've got a new warning for Keene, New Hampshire, by the way. This is for the potential for damaging winds up to 60 miles per hour, and as well as quarter-sized hail. That's moving down to the east-southeast. And then we also got a little bit of an area of storms right now west of Pittsfield, Massachusetts. This may end up developing maybe into strong or maybe marginally severe storms. I don't think the severe threat will be that high with this area here. Overall, the main threat, though, will be damaging winds up to 60 miles per hour. For that question in Connecticut, there might be some severe weather. I think if there were to be any, though, it would probably be up here, maybe Hartford or northwards. And it'll most likely just be damaging winds tonight. And by the way, we do have some reports up this direction near Rutland. A lot of reports, by the way. There's a lot of tree damage and whatnot. A few of these were from earlier. I already mentioned those, but we do have some new reports coming in. Trees down on wires over in Benson. That is in Vermont. We also have a utility company reported this, but trees down on wires as well over in Barton. That's over in Rutland as well, county. And we also had 4 trees down on Pittsford Road. And we also had a trees down on wires in Mendon. 4 trees down and large limbs down over in Rutland as well. And more trees down in Killingston. And also numerous trees down over in Woodstock. So we've had a lot of trees down, it looks like, through Vermont. And especially in this area, by the way. I mean, this is pretty much the most reports we've had. And it's a bit more populated, obviously. But we've had more reports in that direction more than anything. We also had several reports over this direction. Trees down on wires on County Road 9. This is over in Fergusonville in Delaware County, New York. So that was at 2:35. It was actually almost 2 hours ago. We had a recent report, though, of a tree down on the intersection of New Kingston Mountain Road and Harold Roberts Road over in Kingston. That's, again, Delaware County, New York. Tree down again, and another tree down, looks like, over that direction. So we had a lot of trees down so far with those storms. I do have a severe thunderstorm warning going down here. Let me see if we can get any radar sites nearby, but we have a lot of damage reports also that I would like to get to. I'm going to go to this radar site for now. We have a lot of damage reports also over this direction. More trees and wires down over in, I'm not even going to be able to pronounce that name. That's a long name, but that's over in Washington County, Maryland. That's basically far northern Maryland. We also had trees down near St. Paul Road and Fairview Road. We also had a large tree down in Clear Spring. And another Clear Spring trees down and wires down as well. Also trees and wires down over in Forest Park. That was from a little bit ago. And there was also more it looks like a wind gust report or tree blocking Buck Valley Road, which is in extreme southern portions of Pennsylvania. We also have a new report, or new severe thunderstorm warning, by the way. This does include areas in Manchester. It does go through the Bel Air South, Bel Air North, Falston, Hampstead, Kingsville, Pleasant Hills, Jarrettsville, Edgewood, Glen Arm, Carrollton, Upperco, Cardiff, and Forest Hill. Damaging winds up to 60 miles per hour, and as well as quarter-sized hail as possible here. So that's a new warning that we have going there. And a new warning got issued for this area that was obviously destructive before. We're now down to 60 mile per hour winds and quarter-sized hail. That is going to be the storms going toward Washington, D.C. over the next, about basically the next couple of hours. And that's, again, moving off to the east at about 50 to 55 miles per hour. We also had a quarter-sized hail report in Wardensville, so that's at least good news. We didn't have any significant hailstone sizes, it looks like. A little cell going right now through areas in Charleston. That's in Charleston, West Virginia. Again, that's producing damaging winds up to 60 miles per hour. There was half-inch sized hail reported there. 2 trees down in the area over in Institute, and there's also a tree down over in Tornado. There's actually a town called Tornado, apparently. So that was over west of Charleston, West Virginia. I didn't even know that. We got some more cells ongoing, by the way, over in Kentucky right now. Damaging winds up to 60 miles per hour, and quarter-sized hail does exist for West Liberty and Frenchburg. That is moving off to the southeast. We got another cell down here to the southwest of that near Somerset. This area saw severe weather the other week. This is producing quarter-sized hail, damaging winds around 60 for Science Hill, Somerset, and Burnside. That's moving down to the south. And we also have another warning south of Glasgow. That's also producing damaging winds around 60 miles per hour and quarter-sized hail. That is moving down to the southeast as of right now. So those are the warnings that we got going as of right now. And apparently we have actually one down here in Georgia. I'll hop to this really quick. This is producing 60 mile per hour winds near Darien and north of Brunswick. That's moving off to the northeast. Very little brief warning there. That goes until 4:45. So that's what we got going as of right now. I got a lot of severe weather right now. We got actually storms over in Buffalo, apparently. Take a look at this real quick. Winds up to 40 miles per hour. A little area storms here. That's a strong storm. That is just to the east of Buffalo. So there's actually some storms even out that direction right now. So there's a lot of storm activity. Again, we'll be keeping you updated throughout this entire afternoon and even in the evening hours. So if you're just tuning in for the first time, again, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below. And make sure to like the video if you've been enjoying the live stream so far. Again, we'll be live here for a while. We do live streams like this all the time. Thank you, Wrestling God, as well as Andrew and Jeffrey for all subscribing. I appreciate it, guys. We are 2 hours into the stream. I'm going to take a real quick break. I'll be back in less than 60 seconds. Stay tuned, and we'll be back in just a moment. While I take a quick 30 to 45 second break, I'd like to remind you to hit that like button down below. It really helps our page out a lot. Also, if you have not already, make sure to hit that red subscribe button down below. It'll give you our latest forecasts and live streams here on our YouTube channel. Also, make sure to hit that little bell icon to the right and click all so you get notified on when those live streams and videos come out. And if you'd like to support our page above and beyond, click the first link in the description. It'll redirect you to a membership page. For as little as $2.99 per month, you can become a member on our YouTube channel, which includes exclusive forecasts, and as well as a chat badge in both the live streams and comment section, and some emojis to go along with it, which you can use in live streams and as well as in our comment section. I'll also give you a shout out here on stream. We'll be back in about 15 to 20 seconds. All right, we're back. Quick break. And we are back here. I do have to fill up my water real quick. But again, if you have any questions, feel free to leave those in the chat. I'm just going to fill up my water real quick. Got a whole jug of water nowadays, so I don't have to get up anymore. Jordan, I think they're going to remain pretty isolated over Wisconsin tonight. Honestly, my main concern over that direction will be damaging winds maybe up to 60, 65 miles per hour. And also maybe a little bit of $quarter to $half sized hail. I think the severe weather over there will be very minimal tonight. No tornado threat, I don't think, in my opinion. Kind of what I'm expecting at this point. There's some severe weather updates over here, by the way, over in New Hampshire. We've actually had $half sized hail reported over by a weather spotter over in Leominster. We also had wires down over in Claremont, New Hampshire, from these storms. Again, these are right now rolling through central New Hampshire, so definitely some significant storms going through these areas, even going toward Concord as well. Timing for New Jersey, it's probably going to be around, I mean, giving an estimate is probably going to be right around 7 to 8 o'clock, maybe a little bit after that, my opinion. A watch may be issued, by the way, for those in New Jersey and basically New York City. So new watch is probably going to be issued here pretty soon for those areas. Sounds good, Moxie. We'll see you again soon. Thanks, Bug. I appreciate it. All right, let me go head over here real quick. Little tornado risk. It's pretty low. Let's see. You're down. We're at 25 warnings right now. That's all across the area, though. That's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 25 minus 8. We're up to 17 warnings right now. Let me update my warning count here. All right. Yeah, 2% tornado risk. I mean, it's low today. Honestly, we might see 1, maybe 2, but it's gonna be pretty low. We do have a new severe thunderstorm warning now that does go into Massachusetts. Let's get the latest on this. Let me go over to this radar site. Actually, we have a closer one. Never mind. Let's go to the Albany radar site. There's a new severe thunderstorm warning that now does include, Pittsfield and Great Barrington, Chatham, as well as Hudson. Those areas include the potential for damaging winds up to 60 miles per hour. Not really much of a hail threat here, but this is a bit of a line that we're starting to see develop here near Hudson and Chatham right now. Moving off to the east and east-southeast right now. I'd say again, new warning that just got issued. That's going into Massachusetts now. So we're beginning to see some storms going that direction. It's mainly just that one area. We don't have a whole lot behind it, but we definitely can't rule out some more developments here later on. Virginia, as of right now, we just got one cell, and that's the one right now that's going towards areas in Arlington and eventually Washington, D.C. This is the one cell we got going over here right now. We're only 13 likes away from 350. If you haven't hit the like button, I would appreciate it. If you're enjoying the stream so far. And again, I probably won't have a live stream. I probably won't have a live stream either tomorrow or on Thursday, just for reference for those that are here pretty often. I might have one Friday. We'll see. All right, cool. If you have any questions, feel free to leave me in the chat. Going through some stuff real quick. Again, this is the warning that we got on going for the Plains, Round Hill, Leesburg, Ashburn, Haymarket. Those areas all on the track of this new severe thunderstorm warning. Again, this was the storm that produced winds as high as 90 miles per hour. So overall, it is weakening a little bit, which is good news. What we have going as of right now. Still no tornado warnings. Yeah, no, there hasn't been any tornado warnings, which has been good news. Yeah, I was honestly expecting maybe at least 1 or 2 tornado warnings by now, but we haven't really seen a whole lot of rotation with most of these cells. There's been some broad rotation. The one that we had the most rotation on was that one that was going toward Washington, D.C., which still is, but it's definitely not as prominent as before. Again, we do have some cells in Kentucky right now. The most prominent one right now is near Somerset. That's producing, again, damaging winds up to 60, as well as maybe some quarter-sized hail. So we got going as right now over here. And also near Charleston right now. This is the cell, again, that's going over. This is in West Virginia. Again, this is near Charleston. That's producing damaging winds up to 60 miles per hour. So that's the main threat we got going on as of right now over here as well. Again, right now, moving off to the east-southeast. Most of these storms are doing that right now. They're all moving, for the most part, off to the east-southeast. And again, this cell's already had some damage in terms of trees and whatnot. That's what we have as right now in this cell. We're now up to 29 warnings. What is going on? Got a lot of warnings still. Obviously, we're kind of peaking right now, but let me take a look at what the warnings are. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 11. We are now up to 19 warnings. So we are close to 20 warnings right now across the board. Any warnings in Texas? I don't think there's any warnings. By the way, new update on the hurricane over in the Pacific Ocean. Darby is now down to a Category 3 hurricane. There's no warnings though raining in Texas right now. I think there's a couple of strong storms though. We do have a new warning that got issued, by the way. This is for Marmot, Montgomery, Chesapeake, Ansted, Bell, East Bank, Glasgow. Those areas are the main areas included in a new warning for damaging winds up to 60 miles per hour. Again, that's a cell that's currently going through areas near Charleston. All right, west of Waco. We actually have a couple storms west of Waco, though. Yes, geez, it's gonna weaken before it hits there. There will probably be some rain and maybe some increased waves over that direction, but I don't expect too much for Hawaii. And if you're just tuning in, if you're anywhere from Hawaii, if you know anybody from Hawaii, there's obviously major Hurricane Darby heading that direction. Luckily, it's forecasted a weekend, but if you want more details on that, check out our latest forecast. That's the full breakdown on that. We do have a new warning, by the way, that does include Baltimore now. So those in Baltimore, damaging winds up to 60 miles per hour will be possible. This is, again, a brand new warning. Damaging winds up to 60 possible with this storm. That also includes Pikesville, Middle River, Back River, Miller's Island, as well as Townsend, Essex, Randallstown, Parkville, Owning Mills, Kearney, Milford Mill, Perry Hall, and there's a lot of areas included, as well as Rosedale. Those are the main areas included in this warning. Again, damaging winds up to 60 miles per hour will be possible as that moves off to the east, southeast. There's also an outflow boundary that you can kind of see now on the radar that's kind of popping up. That outflow boundary is probably initiating more storm activity as well. That might produce some more strong and maybe even some isolated severe storms as well off to the north of that. Yes, Dobbs, I usually do. This depends on the situation. This is a look at the velocities as of right now. And brighter colors do represent the higher wind speeds. So that's kind of what we're looking at right now. Probably damaging winds around 60 in this area here. There also might be a little bit down here, possibly along that outflow boundary. It looks like we have some damaging winds right around here near Randallstown. But yeah, overall rotation, there's not a whole lot of rotation with these cells right now. It's primarily going to be damaging winds tonight. But again, low-end tornado threat does exist. Might see maybe an isolated tornado or two. Yeah, the outflow boundary is actually producing some higher winds than the overall storm right now. We have a little bit, we definitely have some quarter-sized hail though here near Interstate 83. Go over the hail radar here. Let's take a look at that. This is again west of Interstate 83 right now, and there's a little bit of hail. The overall estimates seem to be probably somewhere between half-inch to maybe nickel size. That's what's being estimated. It was as high as maybe quarter size just before the warning box there. It's probably right around nickel size, maybe a little bit less than that now. Definitely can't rule out maybe some quarter-sized hail here and there, so just make sure, again, you have your car in your garage tonight. Again, hail threat is not zero by any means. It definitely does exist tonight, especially in these areas, for example. Definitely not out of the question tonight. Back over to the radar here. And these storms over in Baltimore as of right now. Damaging winds again up to 60 miles per hour, maybe some quarter-sized hail. With this cell specifically, again, that's moving down to the south and east. These are our main warnings. I don't think we have any new warnings as of now. I actually have a warning over in Colorado right now. It's over in Cripple Creek. Colorado actually wasn't really supposed to see severe weather today. I think it was a pretty low risk. It was only for extreme northeastern Colorado, but there is actually a storm ongoing there that's severe. Near Cripple Creek. Okay, I'll look at my phone real quick and take a look. Let's see. I don't know if there's really any rotation, but we'll take a look just in case. There's not any rotation. It is a pretty decent looking cell, though. It is definitely a pretty potent storm there over there in Colorado. Hey, Weather Watcher, how you doing? Welcome back. And yeah, if you're just tuning in, there's a marginal risk, again, of severe weather that does extend through Arkansas. There's also another marginal risk up in Wisconsin and northeastern Minnesota that's ongoing. So just kind of keep that in mind. And again, the slight risk goes from Virginia all the way back through Maine tonight. And we have a new warning that just got issued down here. That's for damaging winds up to 60 miles per hour, as well as quarter-sized hail. That goes for Front Royal, Woodstock, Edinburgh, Fort Valley, Seven Fountains, Dilbeck, Harmony, Riverton, Caro, St. David's Church, Glen Echo, Bentonville, Browntown, and as well as Riverside. Those areas all included in this new warning for damaging winds up to 60 miles per hour and quarter-sized hail. Thanks, Weather Watcher. I appreciate it. Hey, Defender. How you doing? Welcome back. Zoom back out again. Let's see. Back up to New Hampshire here for a little bit. We'll go back up to Massachusetts here for a second. I don't know if anything's redeveloped on this storm yet. Again, this storm's been pretty potent. Actually, it has a pretty decent hail core here. Might actually be up to hail. It might be up to possibly nickel size or maybe even quarter size hail there near Chatham. That's going to be entering into Massachusetts again, pretty sure. Pretty soon, excuse me. The Berkshires. Alabama's not going to really see much today. Maybe just some isolated severe weather. But overall, I don't think you'll see much. Let's look at something real quick. Yeah, this is the storm that we got ongoing right now, going to western Massachusetts. It is up to 60-mile-per-hour winds. That's what we got going there. And again, this is the other warning that we got going for Concord, Concord, New Hampshire, as well as Meredith, Laconia as well, anywhere near the lakes, maybe even up to North Conway, for example. Might even be seeing some storms up that way. But overall, the main threat right now extending right along Interstate 93. So that's what we got going as of right now. As well as Keene, by the way. There is a severe thunderstorm warning still ongoing for Keene, New Hampshire. That does include the potential for damaging winds up to 60 miles per hour and quarter-sized hail. What about Northeast USA? Are you talking about the Northeast, or are you talking about Nebraska? Because Nebraska won't really see anything today unless you're in western Nebraska. If you're in western Nebraska, you may see some isolated damaging winds or quarter-sized hail. Thank you always, Mama 2020, for subscribing, guys. I appreciate it. Yeah, Andrew, I just updated a second ago, but it's primarily damaging winds around 60 miles per hour and quarter-sized hail. That's the main threat there. And obviously a lot of rain along with that. So look at the velocities. Let me go back over to velocities on this. Not any rotation, but we definitely have some strong downburst winds over here in eastern New York going to Massachusetts here pretty shortly. I'll hop back down here to the storm for you guys. Sounds good, Melly. See you again soon. Appreciate you tuning in. This is, again, the storm near Woodstock right now. There is a little hail core here that might be possibly some sort of small hail. I don't think it's quarter-sized hail, but there's a little bit there near 42. Right now along Interstate 81, basically in Woodstock and Edinburgh. That's what we got going here as of right now. This storm, again, moving down to the south and east. So definitely something to watch still. But overall, the severity with that storm is pretty low. Damaging winds probably going to be the main threat there. This is the other warning as of right now as well. That is currently near Leesburg, Ashburn, Haymarket, several areas here that's seeing the same threat. Same winds up to 60 miles per hour and quarter-sized hail. Queens, New York, will see storms a little bit later. Probably not until at least 7, 8 o'clock tonight. Anything in Allentown, Pennsylvania. I don't know where that is, but if that's eastern Pennsylvania, then possibly. If you're anywhere in central or western Pennsylvania, no. Yeah, severe weather, or yeah, Allentown. Okay, I see it. Never mind. That's actually a bigger town. I don't know why I didn't know where that was. That you might see storms. It looks like most of the storm activity is off to your north right now. Sorry, I'm originally not from this area, so. But yeah, it looks like most of the storm activity right now is off to your north. I can't rule out you might see a storm, but it might be staying off to your north. This is the only cell right now that's kind of remotely close to your location. This has the potential for damaging winds up to 60 miles per hour and as well as quarter-sized hail. That one's moving off to the almost southeast right now, actually. They'll be going toward potentially areas like Bath and Easton later on, Bangor, as well as Oxford. Allentown's kind of on the south end of that storm if it does go that far south, but you might see something develop as well back out to your west. Definitely can't rule it out. Definitely not out of the question. I have some new reports of quarter-sized hail, by the way, with that storm. It was up to half-dollar sized hail there in western portions of New Hampshire. We have a new warning that just got issued for Mount Airy as well as Randallstown. This is for damaging winds up to 60 miles per hour and quarter-sized hail. Westminster, Owings, Mills, Eldersburg, Milford Mill, as well as Mount Airy. Again, I already mentioned that. Newmarket, Gamber, Garrison, New Windsor are all included. Libertytown, and Finksburg. Those areas all include potential for damaging winds up to 60 miles per hour, and as well as that potential for maybe some quarter-sized hail. The cell up here near Jarrettsville is also starting to see a little bit more of a hail core there. You can see it just north of Cockeysville. That's just, again, west of Jarrettsville. So a little bit more of a hail core there. Again, damaging winds up to 60, as well as quarter-sized hail possible. There might be even a little bit larger than quarter-sized hail in that specific location. That's currently moving off to the east. Connecticut wouldn't see any storms probably until at least another 2 to 3 hours. Welcome back, pilot. Welcome back. We have a load of warnings right now in Kentucky, by the way. We might actually get a watch over here. There's a load of warnings. We got all of them are the same threats: 60 mile per hour winds and quarter-sized hail. But there's one near Jackson that's moving off to the east southeast right now. There's also one back out here to the west that is currently near Somerset and Burnside. That's moving down to the southeast right now. And there's also another one closer to Tompkinsville. It's moving down to the southeast. So those are the 3 warnings that we got over in Kentucky right now. We also got some special weather statements. We actually got another one. I think this one might have already been issued. This actually just got issued. This is for Russell Springs and Jamestown for damaging winds up to 60 miles per hour and penny-sized hail. So we have a new warning here as well that just got issued there. We also had another warning up here to the north near West Liberty. I think I just mentioned this one, but that was also going forward to the south or east, southeast. Those are the warnings we got as of right now. There's also this big one just south now of Charleston. That's moving off to the southeast, going toward areas like Oak Hill, as well as Powelton as well. Those areas in the track of this storm as well. Moving down to the southeast. Or Pennsylvania. I think we got a new warning up here. A whole lot of good radar sites around here, but we'll go, I guess, with this one right now. New Jersey. We do have new damage reports actually coming in with this storm. This warning just got issued 15 minutes ago, but it does include areas like Broadheadsville, as well as Mount Ponoco Center, or Pocono, as well as Lay. I'm not going to be able to pronounce these names right. I'm not going to lie to you. But this is for damaging winds up to 60 miles per hour, as well as quarter-sized hail. Weatherly I can pronounce, I know that. There's a lot of names I can't pronounce on here. Gilbert, maybe. Lake Carbony, Tannersville, Mountain Home, Rossland. A lot of the names that are probably smaller towns are actually easier to pronounce on here, but that's near east side as of right now. Again, that storm's currently heading off to the east-southeast. We've already had some damage reports, though, with this. We had a tree down on a roadway over near Berwick. We also had tree and wires down on West Front Street on Route 11. Those are some brand new reports there, and also multiple trees down Route 42 between Millville, excuse me, as well as Bloomsburg. So we had some damage with this specific storm. Again, this is currently near Interstate 476 and 80. Currently at that junction right now. Again, that's moving down to the east-southeast or southeast right now. Again, if you're just tuning in for the first time, by the way, and you're new here and you like these live streams, I would appreciate it, again, if you hit the like button and make sure to subscribe if you're new here as well. We do live streams like this all the time, so you won't miss a thing if you hit the subscribe button down below. Northern Vermont, not really seeing much up there. There's a little storm like on the Canadian-Vermont border, but other than that, there's not much. No severe weather up in Northern Vermont right now. I don't think you'll see much more tonight, unless something comes out of Canada. Thank you, Jordan, for subscribing, by the way. I appreciate it. Welcome. The severe thunderstorm watch, by the way, I think it just got extended, but it now does include northwestern Connecticut and western Massachusetts at this given time. So just a new update there on that sort of cell, or really the little small line, I should say, of storms there that is currently ongoing. We do have a new warning that just got issued. This does now include areas back out to the northeast of Baltimore. It does include Port Deposit, Rising Sun, Elkton, Chesapeake City. Main areas include there. Damaging winds up to 60 miles per hour, and as well as quarter-sized hail does exist with this storm. We've had a tree down near Interstate 83 South and Bunker Hill Road, so we actually have some damage already coming in from this. And a tree down on Interstate 83 South past Middletown Road, excuse me. So 2 different reports, 6 minutes apart. And again, we have some damage going on with these storms as well. A lot of trees down with most of these storms right now. It's good to do, Kevin. Yeah, make sure you make sure to alert anybody if they're under a warning and they might not know. Definitely something you should do. A couple of warnings going on in Colorado right now. We'll primarily keep our focus right now on these storms as of right now as they move off to the east. And feel free to leave any questions in the chat as well. As of right now, New York City's not in any sort of storm line yet, but you might see some storms later. The overall, it's going to at least take probably a couple of hours until anything gets toward that area. Might even be 3 hours. It's going to be a little bit. And this is how we got right now north of Kingsville. This is north of Baltimore for reference. So, yeah, north of Baltimore, there's some storms. There's also storms back out to the west of Baltimore, too. We got going as of right now. Yeah, overall 20th threats low tonight. We actually have a report, by the way, with this storm of power outages over in Jarrettsville. So, new report of power outages now in Jarrettsville from this storm. Is a brand new report. Just a reference. Yeah, we got several storms really in the Baltimore area. So Just make sure you're staying away from windows lowest floor possible too, because again, trees can fall down and they can definitely land on houses and whatnot. Definitely make sure you stay away from windows. Though it's not, you know, common by any means, just make sure you're doing that, because again, it has happened to people before. We have a marine warning, by the way, for those over just southeast of Baltimore. So basically anywhere in this area for a few of these areas, again, off the coastline. That's going to be for wind speeds up to about 30 to 35 knots, possibly even a little bit greater than that. Water spout's not expected, though, right now. People might be trying to enjoy their summer at the beach and whatnot, but it's going to be kind of hard to do that today. Storms that we got going through these areas. Thank you, Carol, for becoming a Storm Chaser member. I really do appreciate it. Thank you, Carol. Appreciate becoming a member here on our YouTube channel. Enjoy your benefits. And by the way, if you are a member, you can check out our latest bloopers access or exclusive members bloopers video. It just came out literally last night. So if you are a member, you can definitely check that out. Any membership level actually gets that, this first one. So if you're even if you're a Storm Chaser member, which is only $2.99 a month, you can see the bloopers access. Again, check that out. I believe you can find that in the membership tab on YouTube. But I appreciate it, Carol. Thank you. Appreciate becoming a member. It's coming towards Delaware. Yep, Delaware's in the track of this. Delaware's definitely in the track of this right now. We actually have a pretty large hail core right here near Jarrettsville. Near Bel Air, so just keep that in mind. Again, heading off to the east right now. Port Deposit, Perryville going to be in the track of this as well. There's actually been very good feedback, by the way, on this first bloopers little video, by the way. I may release the bloopers to the public sometime later on, but it will not at least be probably for a month. So I do want it to keep pretty much exclusive for members. Again, for those that are just tuning in, we have an enhanced risk of severe weather still ongoing for those over in areas like Washington, D.C. That is mainly for damaging winds. It's basically this area. That's the main area that will see severe weather over the next few hours anyways, but that's what we got for that enhanced risk. There is still a slight risk that extends, again, really all across a good portion of New England. We actually got a severe thunderstorm warning that just got issued up here in Maine. Let's go and take a look at this. First warning of the day over in Maine. This is going to be for damaging winds up to 60 miles per hour and as well as quarter-sized hail. That is moving off to the east, northwest of Greenville right now. So brand new warning there. That is going again off to the east. And that does include actually a lot of areas. Jackman, Rockwood Strip, Misery, Gore, Sandwich Academy, Grant, Taunton, as well as town of Thorndike, Long Pond, Harlan Pond. There's a lot of areas here, but anywhere on the left side of your screen, those are the locations included in this warning, again, for damaging winds up to 60 as well as quarter-sized hail. There's also another cell here that may get warned here pretty shortly as well for those same threats, currently off to the northwest of Bingham. So a couple of warnings there that we got ongoing. Again, severe thunderstorm watch does go until 9 o'clock tonight across Maine and as well as almost all, or actually all of New Hampshire is included in this right now. We have new reports coming in on the line of storms right now in New Hampshire. Let's get to this. We also have new warnings coming in. This is south of Plymouth. We have a tree down on wires at Mayhew Turnpike, and the turnpike is actually closed apparently. We have a new warning for Manchester. So damaging winds up to 60 miles per hour, quarter-sized hail possible here. Again, a brand new warning. These storms moving off again to the east-southeast. So near Hillsborough, Concord, Laconia, all going to see this area of storms. Moving off to the east-southeast right now. See you later, Woolard. Have a good day. Hope your day gets better soon. Middle of Tennessee, severe thunderstorm warning. Yeah, the main threats over there, again, any of the warnings in Tennessee, damaging winds maybe up to 60 and as well as quarter-sized hail. And all these storms right now, for the most part, are moving east. Some of them moving to the east-southeast. Now we're looking at it right now. And we actually have a lot of warnings now over in... I'm surprised there's not a severe thunderstorm watch yet, because we do have a good amount of warnings right now over in Kentucky. A lot of these producing, again, damaging winds around 60 miles per hour. We also got many of them producing quarter to $half sized hail. See it here, right here, near Somerset and Burnside. That's moving off to the southeast. And that is definitely going to be a storm to watch pretty closely. Again, that's going to be going toward Corbin as well. A lot of these storms, again, are going to be producing those threats. A lot of them penny-sized hail back out here in the west, but all of them, for the most part, are warned for 60-mile-per-hour winds. So, again, what you need to do in these sort of situations is just stay away from windows. Make sure you're on the lowest floor possible, because, again, trees can't fall in houses with even the slimmest of severe winds. That's why they call them severe. It's because, you know, those sort of threats. We have a warning up here near West Liberty as well. This is a little bit more populated of an area, but quarter-sized hail and damaging winds around 60 possible. The special weather statement has been issued on this for 40-mile-per-hour wind gusts and half-inch sized hail on the latest update. Thank you, James, Johnny, as well as Shannon for subscribing. I appreciate it, guys. Welcome. Is there a tornado warning? Nope. No tornado warnings as of right now. We actually haven't had one yet today. But we've had pretty significant severe thunderstorm warnings already. Yeah, I think the warnings have... I'm going to have to double check how many warnings we got. Welcome back, by the way, Annie. Hey, Defender, you're totally fine. No problem at all. Yeah, we have a lot more warnings. Let me go and update this. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, we're up to 23 warnings now. So we actually have 23 severe thunderstorm warnings. Not much, Angel. How are you doing today? You're doing well. But by the way, this storm right now in Virginia is moving towards the DC area. I believe it's actually entering into Maryland now, but this is about to enter into Maryland. This will be producing the potential for damaging winds upwards of 60 miles per hour, and as well as quarter-sized hail. Again, moving off to the east right now. This is the cell that'll be moving toward Washington, D.C. We actually have over in Stevens City of a 58 mile per hour wind gust at Mesonet. So that was the thing that we have there. And currently near Bel Air right now. This is for the potential for, again, quarter-sized hail. There's been a pretty decent hail core with this storm that is, again, moving off to the east right now. They'll be eventually going... It's, again, this is north of Baltimore for reference. We also have a storm west of Baltimore that will probably go into Baltimore. This one's producing damaging winds around 60 as well as quarter-sized hail. We got going as of right now. And so far, no other warnings yet. A decent amount of warnings, but... I believe, again, we have 22 total warnings, so 23. Yeah, Christian, there's gonna be a lot of storms tonight. It's gonna continue. 75 warnings? I don't think it's 70, well, including special weather statements maybe, but I believe there's only... Yeah, there's only 23 severe warnings right now. A counter down there is for severe thunderstorm warnings only. There's a little hail core, by the way, southwest of Leesburg. That little hail core might have some half-inch, maybe some nickel-sized hail as well. Something to watch as well. Cool. Got that fixed. Yeah, if you're just tuning in for the first time and you've been enjoying the stream so far, make sure to hit the like button down below. I would appreciate it. And again, if you're new here, make sure to hit the subscribe button. We are now on the road to 11,000 subscribers. What's been going on today? Not a whole lot. There's been a lot of severe weather, obviously, but I haven't had much going on today other than this. I woke up pretty early for this. By early, I mean like 11 o'clock. Winds are picking up in Baltimore. There is an outflow boundary right here. That's probably producing some pretty high winds, possibly 50 miles per hour there. Maybe even severe. I can't rule out it's a bit more severe, but that's the area of storm. That's the outflow boundary is probably going to be producing some pretty high winds there. Where my line is, that's where the outflow boundary is. There's a storm over in... Let's go up here. I'm gonna real quickly drag ourselves up to... Yeah, New England area real quick. This warning up here in Massachusetts has a little bit of something. It's not really rotation, but there's definitely some strong winds here. Just look at the reflectivity as of right now. You can see near Lee, there's some pretty high, not just high winds, but obviously the hail threat here. Possibly some quarter-sized hail in that area. And then obviously the velocities as of right now, we're talking about some pretty high winds as well near Pittsfield and as well as north of Lee. Higher winds, those brighter colors again representing some damaging winds, possibly as high as 60 miles per hour. Let's look at the hail radar, see what it's estimating as of right now. Kib, not really in the future, honestly. There might be something. I don't know if anything's gonna happen today, but there might be an isolated storm or two today. But it's overall gonna be a pretty low threat. And you can see here the hailstone sizes on the latest scans, basically right around quarter sized near Lenox right now. That again, it's estimated by radar, but typically the radar's been pretty accurate today. So possibly up to quarter sized hail with this storm right now. But for the most part, it seems to be mostly around nickel sized hail. We're looking at right now with this little cell here. Hail in Baltimore right now? Is there? I don't think there's any hail there. It might be on the outskirts of Baltimore, but Yeah, we have a warning on going for Manchester. I know there's an airport there as well. Derry, those areas in the track of the cell, as well as Milford. So again, damaging winds up to 60 miles per hour and quarter-sized hail going that direction right now. A new watch. Oh yeah, we got a new severe thunderstorm watch that just got issued. So a brand new severe thunderstorm watch has gotten issued for New York. That includes New York City, as well as New Jersey, Philadelphia, and as well as Maryland and Delaware, all included in a new severe thunderstorm watch that does extend again to these areas. A brand new one goes until 10 o'clock tonight. Main threat's going to be damaging winds upwards of 70 miles per hour, and as well as some quarter-sized hail. And we have a new warning as well that just got issued for areas just west of Washington, D.C. That is also for the potential for damaging winds upwards of 60 miles per hour, and as well as quarter-sized hail. That's moving off to the southeast as of right now. Hey, Frankie, how you doing? Welcome back. We got going with this cell as of right now. Again, we'll keep you updated with the latest. Again, all storms right now moving off to the east. And brand new severe thunderstorm watch just got issued. For Massachusetts, the main area of storms right now is currently in western Massachusetts near Pittsfield and Lee and Great Barrington. But overall, the severe threats will be pretty low. I think it's mainly going to be damaging winds for your area tonight.